What's going on, everybody? Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by G Fuel Energy. Right now, until March 1st, you can use code DANNYD to get 30% off your order at gfuel.com. They actually just announced a new flavor called Pink Drip. At the time of this recording, that is currently available for pre-order, and code DANNYD can be used to get it for 30% off as well. Now, for some reason that's no longer available for pre-order, I highly recommend the flavors Wampa Fruit, Ice Shatter, and PewDiePie. And I always get asked what's a good flavor for first-timers. I really recommend Snow Cone. Every scoop of G Fuel Energy contains 150 milligrams of caffeine and tastes amazing. G Fuel is a part of my daily routine, and with over 40 flavors, if you've seen my TikToks, I never have a hard time changing things up. Today's guest is a fellow content creator and Twitch streamer, and unfortunately, also a Detroit Red Wings fan. Sometimes these conversations feel a little bit like therapy, and this one kind of did more than others. I really enjoyed our conversation, and I hope you guys do too. Please welcome Ky1eDriver. So how's life, man?
It's good. Yeah, Michigan. I mean, it's used to it. We're going through our Michigan weather. It's starting to do that change. We're near the end of February. So, weather starts changing. It starts getting a little bit nicer. Days are getting longer. Thank goodness. Like, getting dark at 5 o'clock, 5:30 has been the bane of my existence. But, things are good in Michigan. Staying busy. I don't know if you know too much about, like, what I do during the day. But I'm an IT professional.
Okay.
And
So you work from
so
home, or?
yeah, I work from home. Basically, they told us that we can work from home indefinitely. So
That's cool. I
who
think a
who
lot of
knows if
jobs.
I'm ever going back?
I think a
Who
lot of
knows?
jobs are gonna be like that, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think a lot of people realize, and a lot of companies realize that you don't need people in the office to run a successful business. And I think if COVID showed us anything, it was these types of changes, and you can save a couple bucks too, because if you have remote employees, what's one thing you don't have to pay for? Office space, and that can be
Yeah.
that can be pretty expensive. I mean, I don't want to go too far into it, but like we were in the process of moving to a new office building. They straight up bought a 8-story office building because we were bought by a rather large Japanese company,
Okay.
and we were in the process of moving, and like we were like on the cusp of like heading out, and COVID hit, and they're like, just go home. So we got a office building that's just sitting there not being used right now.
That's good for them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, no, things are good here. Um, just doing my thing,
How
trying to
was?
make the. Go ahead.
Did you get hit by that winter vortex over there?
We got dumped on a little bit. But like I mean, we're used to pretty harsh winters here. We get really hot summers, and usually we get pretty mild like winter time. So
Yeah.
like November into December, it's not too bad. But like once like end of December, January, it can get pretty rough. So it's nothing too different from what we're used to.
Yeah, we got like 5 or 6 inches of snow over here, which is a little more than usual. I think the record here is
Yeah.
like 11 inches,
hmm
but I didn't know it snowed that much in Albuquerque. So
I mean, everywhere was wild.
yeah,
Everywhere.
dude, my sister had no power because she's over in Texas. She had no power for like 4 days, no water for like 2 days. It's just her and like her two dogs. My brother-in-law was like traveling for business during all that. And I'm just like, dude, like I felt so bad. There's nothing you could do, you know. So my
No,
fiance was like, maybe we should like drive some firewood and stuff to her. And I was like, I don't think that's the best idea. The roads are crazy right now. Like I don't know if you saw like that. There was that video of that crazy pile up with like 50 something cars, people just getting smushed.
so
I was like,
rough.
yeah, I don't think you want to be on the roads right now.
No, you
You know?
don't. No, you don't.
Yeah,
Especially on roads that aren't used to winter.
yeah. But I think
Um,
I I don't know how true it is. My fiance says stuff, and she's like, apparently this, you know. So she's saying that apparently there's another like little spout of that coming in March or something because of the way the weather
hopefully
patterns
not.
are. Hopefully not.
Hopefully
Yeah.
not. But yeah, no, Texas got hit real rough. Viewers and people that are part of the community, they're all just like, yeah, we're no power. but we're staying warm, all this stuff. It's been rough.
Yeah.
Like even a dude on our team at work, he's based out of Dallas, and he was out for almost a week. So it was
Yeah.
rough. It was real rough. But
Yeah. I don't. It makes you wonder, like, how something like that can affect the power and stuff like that in modern times. So bad.
yeah,
But I still don't understand what happened with like the power grid and stuff. But I know that like the whole political side of it is just a back and
yeah.
forth mess.
It's
So
just the from what I've gathered in without taking with taking the politics out of it, um, just lack of investment
yeah,
in modernization. I mean that's the story anywhere,
yeah,
really. I mean that's just kind of the thing. I mean here in Michigan, that's like the one thing that you hear is roads. We have really bad
mhm.
roads, and um, there's just things that we do here that we don't do anywhere else, and it causes problems. So it's just modernization. It's just I think we're on the cusp of uh, some major changes happening, hopefully for the better, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, when's the last time there was like a huge like road fix up program like nationwide? Like what, the 80s? There was like maybe
something like
something.
that. I mean,
Yeah, we're overdue,
we're constantly working on roads.
and it feels like they
Always.
never catch up.
Yeah, it's like you finish the road that's on like a 5-year project, and then all of a sudden we're doing another project. It's like, we
Well,
just worked on
when I
this
was in
road 5 years ago.
California, because I lived there, I was stationed there for 4 years, and I lived there for
Ooh.
almost a year. Once I got out, it was like they would always talk about how the gas prices are like, oh, gas prices going up 10 cents. We're gonna use that money for the roads, and it would never get used for the roads. Like, so
It's everywhere.
yeah. But I mean, California, the gas prices are like $4 sometimes, so it's like, dude,
Yeah,
it's
that's rough.
ridiculous.
That's rough.
The state tax on gas there is like 50 cents, dude.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Uh, we don't have a state tax, so there's a cost difference between credit and cash. There's a
Okay.
tax on credit and debit transactions,
Right. Yeah.
but cash you don't pay the taxes. So if you're using, so
Did you,
that's kind of like the thing that's been implemented for like I don't know ever since I could drive.
so like 10 cents a gallon?
No, it would go so like let's say for example, cash would be $2.75.
Yeah.
A credit transaction, if you were to pay at the pump, it would be $2.85.
Yeah. So
So
it's like it's okay. So it would just be an extra 10 cents
yeah,
overall.
you're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I see your Red Wings jersey. I have not kept up this past like week and a half. I've been so busy. I'm
Same.
really just,
Same.
dude. I've been trying to hammer out so much YouTube content because I'm like 3/4 of the way to being monetized on there, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
just need to get there already. Because like
Yeah.
I had the video of me proposing to my fiance, and
Mm,
it's almost at like 10,000 views, and it's like, dude, like
nice.
could have been like $150 or something. So
Yeah, I think a lot of people are starting to make that shift to YouTube. Like as far as like putting out long form content, even utilizing shorts on YouTube because I mean, when you think of long form videos, you're gonna think YouTube. Like that they're the
yeah.
monopoly when it comes to it. Did you listen to Big E and Bad Bear yesterday?
I did not. I know.
So
I get the whole thing going on. I mean, I've been hearing the argument for YouTube and stuff like that for a
oh,
while, but my thing is like unless something happens to the community on Twitch, or
yeah,
like the community, there's a huge shift. YouTube is just not gonna.
no,
It's not gonna have the same excitement around its gaming community.
yeah,
And until something like that happens, I'm not even gonna think about it. Because I mean, once you make partner on Twitch, it's like why would you break that
yeah. No,
contract
I mean
to start
it's
over?
definitely not for everybody.
Yeah,
Um, I think the big thing that came out of that conversation, which was, I mean, Big E he has two successful YouTube channels.
mm-hmm.
Um, and just listening to, like, as far as like not pigeonholing yourself and putting all of your eggs in one basket, but um, you know, his message was more of, if it's not working in one place, there are other options, type of thing. Like for someone like you, or other people that are finding success on the Twitch platform, like that's, why would you? Like that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like, so um I would say like I'm like mid size. Um we average between right now 40 to 50, sometimes 60 viewers.
Hmm.
Um and like in my mind it's like I probably wouldn't risk it yet, you know, unless something completely changes. I
Yeah.
mean, we still have pretty healthy growth on the channel, so
Yeah.
again, it's not for everybody. I wouldn't suggest like all these big people just, oh, just go to YouTube now. But if you're smaller and you're having trouble with Twitch, why not?
Yeah.
You're not really. It's not. There's not a big risk.
There's one pretty successful streamer on YouTube that I'm friends with, and he has like 120,000 subscribers on there. So
Mm,
to me, like the like I think I just hit like 22K, but
yeah,
I just that to me I think the biggest thing is the word membership scares people. The
yeah,
idea of like, hey, like you pay this membership, it is cool that you can change the prices. I will say that,
yeah,
like, you can have as many levels as you want, basically.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I could totally see Twitch doing something like that.
yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. It's definitely going to be
yeah,
interesting.
it
Me,
will.
I don't have any plans on switching to YouTube. I mean, as far as putting out YouTube content, I think a lot of people are working on, putting out long form content
Hmm.
on YouTube. I think that's, I mean, you
Yeah,
should.
I definitely think the biggest thing is the ad revenue is the biggest difference. Like
Yeah,
Twitch just they take like what 90% of it or something. So
yeah,
I mean,
90%.
depending on like
Yeah.
some people have different contracts and stuff, but
Does that, well, let me ask you this, since you're on that partner thing. Does that change for you? Does ad
um.
revenue change for you?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't noticed a difference.
Okay.
I looked through the contract, and I think there was maybe like a few
Mm,
percentages different, but like I'm not supposed to say specifically. But
right.
I honestly have not noticed like a huge difference.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure it's just like ad stuff, or like I think you have to be averaging like 1,000 viewers or something like that for them to give you like one of those. Because I've heard like they'll give you like a
Hmm.
set salary a month to run ads.
Yeah.
You know, and it's different for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to me, I don't know if I would do it because there's somebody that I've seen on a podcast that I watch that basically got a deal where it's like, all right, we pay you this much a month. You got to run 4 minutes of ads an hour. And I'm like, 4 minutes of ads an hour, dude. Like the
That's
max,
insane.
you know?
That's rough.
But he chose to take that because he's like, I'll take the consistent income. Like it was enough for him
Yeah.
to be like, I'll take that. But I don't know. To me, it's kind of like
That would be
selling out.
insane. That would be insane. Like
Yeah.
I could just, ooh.
Honestly,
Oh
I
man.
think I hear that like the bigger streamers, like the way bigger ones, like
Hmm.
Shroud and all them, that their thing is like they just get like a way bigger chunk of the subs.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, I think I'm hearing a lot of inconsistencies with like
yeah,
payouts versus, obviously I don't want to, don't talk about it specifics, but
yeah,
um I mean, yeah, cool. We get that 50% of subscriptions, but I mean, we keep 100% of bits and donos.
hmm,
So I mean that right there is
yeah.
you can do well with that.
And
Especially if you have a channel set up right with like sound alerts and all that fun stuff. Like you can circumvent, like, I don't know, some people think you're getting screwed on getting payouts from subs, but I don't see it that way.
yeah, it I don't know how long have you been streaming on Twitch?
I've been streaming. Okay, so I started like my first stream ever April 1st of 2020, and I was just kind of doing it to just keep myself busy. I'll do this. It'll give me a way to connect with my friends that I'm not seeing at work. or
Yeah.
Hangouts and stuff like that. So I use that. I was streaming very consistently and all that stuff, and then like out of just out of streaming and whatnot, like we hit affiliate, and we started actually random people started showing up. And I was like, what? I guess we can take a look at this. And I had a couple conversations with my friends, and they're like, you could probably make a solid run at this. Um, and so I started taking it a little bit more seriously, and I started kind of like setting things up. In June, really, of 2020 is when I started taking it seriously.
Okay. Yeah,
So since June of 2020.
I started taking Twitch a little more seriously around the same time as well.
Yeah.
I had been streaming since 2017, but being in the
Mhm.
military, it was kind of like on and off, not consistent.
Yeah.
It's not like I could make a schedule with deployments and stuff, or take my setup with me, on a
Yeah.
deployment. So it was just kind of like a joke, It was like,
Mhm.
hey, if I want to play video games, but I might as well just stream it, because I didn't know how it
Right.
worked. Everybody assumes that you just start playing a video game and people are gonna come watch and hang
Yeah.
out, but it's
Yeah.
not how it works.
No.
So
No. No.
yeah, once I got out and I got out to go. I don't know how much you know about me. I got out to go work in the film industry. Had kind of like a little
Mhm.
job lined up, but with the
Okay.
pandemic, that got shut
Yeah.
down. So I started doing TikTok in April,
Mhm.
and it's just been like a steady thing. Um, and so because of that, I started to see success on Twitch,
Nice.
and that's just pretty much it. That's the gist of it. It's just I kept going with it. Once I did get a phone call, and they're like, "Hey, like things are opening back up," and I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep doing this." So
I mean, I agree with you 100%, man. I mean, that's the TikTok thing has been wild, especially
yeah,
for you. I mean, you're talking. You went from you said April of 2020 until what, yesterday or the day before, 2 days ago, you hit 1 million followers
yeah.
on
Yesterday I
TikTok.
hit it.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's
That's
crazy.
crazy. Like even going from I started TikTok in um the very end of July, beginning of August of 2020. And I think I just like I'm on the cusp of 58,000, which is still a crazy number. I
Yeah.
still think that's insane. And
So it's so weird because I've talked to Jordy 2D
yeah,
in one of his streams, and he was talking about YouTube and um just the difference in like followers and subscribers,
yeah,
and it seems like I don't know, like maybe 100 followers on TikTok equals like one subscriber on YouTube. It seems like, and then
mhm,
I don't know. So my numbers are kind of weird because when I started out on TikTok, I had a pretty solid conversion rate over
mhm,
to Twitch. Like it was like 1 in 3 people would
yeah,
go over to my Twitch, but now it's like 1 in 10 because like
yeah,
the I don't know. There's all kinds of factors, but I think TikTok definitely has kind of like a ceiling, you know,
it does.
when it comes to to conversion. So that's why like I've really started to shift to like YouTube. I've been posting like 4 to 5
Right.
videos a week on there. Um,
Jeez.
and dude, I mean, like last night I was up to like 1 in the morning editing this. I started doing like a gaming news series.
Mhm,
Um, and I did one of those and it did decent. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll keep doing this, And like it's an excuse for me to stay up to date with like what's going on, And that's probably good to
right.
know what's going on so you can make conversation. So,
A little bit,
but
yeah. I mean, you want to diversify your content. You don't want
yeah,
to be one dimensional in any aspect really, especially in
yeah,
this with all this going on, you can't be one dimensional. Um that's why I don't usually just stream Call of Duty. I
yeah.
can't. Like I
I
just
think
can't. For
I
my
think
own
that's
sanity, I
it's
can't.
really important. I think it's super. I don't think people think about it as much because they get so focused on just growing.
Yeah.
But if you get fixated on one game, there's a ceiling on that too. And then also
Yeah.
there's a time, where that game's going to be
Yeah.
successful. I mean, I can't imagine what it's like to be somebody who got like popular playing like Fall Guys or Among Us or
Yeah.
something. And then,
Yeah.
those games died. It's like, what now?
Yeah.
Um, I'm worried about some people because of Warzone. There's people who like refuse to play anything but Warzone, and
Yeah.
with the current state of that game, I think there's a lot of people questioning whether that game is gonna still be a big thing by the end of this
Yeah.
year. You know?
Yeah. It's definitely something there. And like I get it when you stream different games. Like for me, I only stream 3 days a week right now.
Uh,
I will. I'm working on adding a fourth day. After talking with the wife, we're gonna go to a 4 day stream schedule. Um, but I generally stream different games each day. Um, and I get it. There's going to be growing pains with that because obviously Warzone and Call of Duty is what next to the like one of the most watched categories on Twitch, next
yeah,
to Fortnite and whatnot. So I play Call of Duty, I play Apex, and then just to get the community involved, I'll do marbles.
yeah, yeah. No marbles, no, dude. I go when I went in there. Did you do it yesterday too,
I was doing it. I did it on Thursday.
dude? What a vibe, dude. I dig it,
It
man.
is. It's completely different. Like, and you wouldn't think it was like extreme marble racing.
Yeah.
Like people get addicted to it. It's fun. Like they're like especially with like the challenge maps.
So
People get in on it.
I tried it for the first time the other day with the giveaway, and
Hmm.
I definitely had like a small chunk who was like, "All right, yeah, I don't want to watch no Marvels," and so they left, and then like it spiked back up because there's definitely
Yeah.
like that community,
Oh
and
yeah.
it was just interesting to see because like there were some people who because I use the Stream Elements system for giveaways
Hmm.
normally, right?
Yeah.
And so for some people, they're like, "Oh, this is completely chance," and they're like, "I don't know if I like this," you know. So it was interesting to see some of the reactions, but
Yeah.
overall, it seemed like people had fun. Um,
Yeah.
it took me a second to figure it out. Like I was like, I I started the first race. And then I was like, "Damn, this is loud!" And I opened up the settings menu, and I was like, "How do I get out of the settings? The race started. How do I get out?" Like everybody's trying to tell me,
Yeah.
"Restart,
Yeah.
restart!" Like,
Yeah. It's a whole vibe. It really is.
yeah.
And but yeah, I find success on that. I mean, Big Sin's kind of he's going right now because he's on that push to partner. He's like on that cusp of becoming partner.
Yeah.
Um, and that's all he's streaming right now. That's all he's streaming until he gets partner. Um, so yeah, he may be doing a little bit of a cheat code, but he's got a really supportive community, so I think he can get away with it.
What kind of
Me, I
numbers does
can't.
he pull doing that?
Um, he tops out and he'll stay consistent between like 100, 120.
Because the
Um,
first time I applied for partner, I was around like 150, and they denied me, dude. Like I think
yeah,
they care about subs more than anything, to be honest.
really,
So yeah,
which is
it's kind
weird.
of. I mean, it makes sense, dude. It's a business, you know. They're
I
gonna
get it.
care about their cut more than anything. I
So
once I started averaging like 300, or I think it was like 250 to 300. It was like
mhm,
I I didn't even know I made it, dude. They didn't email me. I went into like
yeah,
my account settings and I clicked affiliate agreement, and then all of a sudden right there was this thing and it said agree to partner agreement. I was like, Wait a minute, like how long has this been there?" This was like right about Christmas time.
yeah.
Um, and I just clicked the thing and it popped up with the contract, and then I like read through it and I was like, "I think this is the partner agreement." Like I told my fiance, I was like, I think this is it." And then she's like, "Oh, then do it." And I clicked it. There's a check mark, and I was like, "Well, that would have been nice to know that was there." You know?
That's wild. Which is weird. And I
Yeah.
see the thing is that no one really knows what they're looking for
Yeah.
because there is another streamer that he just hit partner. His name's Cyber Hero, and he averaged about 100 viewers, give or take,
Yeah.
and he just got it. So who knows what they're looking for? Me,
Yeah.
I get it. It's going to be a little bit of a road for me because I got really lucky. I had my charity stream and we almost had 10,000 viewers in my stream.
Mhm.
Um, because I was doing the charity event, and with that came the opportunity to be on the front page. So we were on the front page for 2.5 hours, and I think like at the end of the day, the average was like 4K.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, it just completely it skewed my numbers a little bit, and it unlocked the partner app. So I now forever have the partner app.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just like I just submitted just for the heck of it. I knew it was gonna get denied. Um, so I'll
Yeah.
just keep submitting until they say okay.
I know people that have been denied like 3 times before they
Hmm.
got it. And then some people, they get denied, and then all of a sudden, like 2 days later, they get an invite. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's
Who
weird.
knows what they're looking for? It's weird.
I
And
know.
ultimately, at the end of the day, doesn't really change much.
Yeah, I would definitely focus on trying to incentivize subs big time,
Yeah.
because I know somebody who hit the numbers.
Hmm.
Um, they had like 150, got denied, went down to like 60 average viewers, but somebody dropped like 1,000 subs one stream,
Jeez.
and they got it because like their subs were like way up. So I honestly
Wow.
think that's the biggest factor.
Subs.
Um,
Interesting.
and then like I saw that I don't know, man. I think it's just a lot of it's timing too, because like it
Yeah.
took me like 6 weeks to get an answer the first time that I got
Yeah.
denied. And then I'm seeing like my buddy Duckage, he applied, and like 6 days later he had an answer. So it's like,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah. It
but
took me about a week to get a response.
yeah, I think it was because it was I applied right around the time that like the first wave of people went back to school and work. And
Mm.
so I think there was a huge influx of people applying, and then there was a huge influx of people like not having the numbers anymore. So it was just a mess for
Right.
them.
Yeah.
But
Who knows? It's not a primary goal for me. Um,
yeah, I think it's a big deal to not focus too much on like,
yeah.
we're trying to make partner, because then, people get hyped up
Yeah.
for that. And I definitely think that there's this mentality for communities to
Mhm.
like want to help streamers make partner. And then once you
Yeah.
make partner, it's like, all right, now who's the next person that's pushing for it?
I was
They can't focus
literally
on it too
talking
much.
about that. Like, people get behind a cause,
Mm-hmm.
right? They get pumped for a cause, and then when the cause is finished, what
Mm-hmm.
is
Yeah.
like? Is it even worth it at that point? It's like, all right, oh, it's like, oh, we did it. See ya. Like, it's kind of like I'm not gonna put it on the same page, but it's very similar to like pity views, like for people that put out pity talks. You're like, I don't have any viewers, and then they get viewers because people feel bad for them,
Yeah.
and then people no longer feel bad for them, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
It's kind of a similar concept, but
When did you
who
start
knows?
TikTok?
Huh?
When did you start TikTok?
I started TikTok end of July,
Okay.
beginning of August. My first vid that did well was, I think my first viral video was I was making fun of the ride tech, and how like the ADS on the ride tech was slow AF.
Yeah.
And that one, I think, like at the end of the day, it hit 1.5 million views. So that was my first successful one, and that's really what kind of like shot me into the algorithm, and videos started doing a lot better. So
Yeah. My fiance just started a TikTok like a week and a half ago, I want to say.
yeah.
And I think for her,
Hmm.
it's cool because she's getting like the followers from my community that are really, I would say, really loyal. Like they watch
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So it's very tight knit on there. I think she just hit 100K already. So she
Oh.
got like a pretty decent chunk of like my
Well,
community
geez,
just straight
Danny,
over
can't you
there.
propose to me so I can get
And
some of those followers? Jeez.
I know, but it's gonna be interesting to see how her stuff does, because it's so
Yeah.
different. Like it's
Yeah.
focused on like the backside of stuff. Like how
Hmm.
her and I met, and like she talks about
Okay.
you know personal stuff, and then we got little man over here, like she'll do where he changes his outfit, and it's like that sorry for dripping song and all that stuff, and
It's,
the dog, just more of like the backside family stuff, the behind the scenes stuff.
yeah,
So
a little bit more
it's interesting.
quintessential, like TikTok-y,
Yeah.
family-oriented stuff. Got it.
So
Right on.
yeah, I'm curious to see how that goes. Um, But TikTok is
So
weird, man.
it is. So staying on the topic of TikTok, what would you say really started like your momentum? Because I remember I think I started following you back when you had about 100,000 followers on TikTok.
Yeah.
Um, what did you find? Like, where can you pinpoint a time and the type of content you were putting out that just kind of like really skyrocketed everything? Because there was a point like every week you'd gained 100,000 new followers, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
the last 2 months, man, I went from I think like 150K to where I am now. And I
hmm
think that the biggest change that I made was I stopped trying to do what everybody else was doing and just
yeah,
focused on myself.
yeah,
And like the whole like girlfriend asking questions meme type thing,
yeah,
I kind of like embraced it.
yeah,
Like we would like joke around about it and stuff. Cause like I started seeing people meme about it. Where like, the
hmm
the girlfriend would come and be like, "How was your stream?" He's like, "Good. I got 2 viewers." And then she's like, "Oh, you need anything else?" And he's like, "Yeah, go make me a sandwich, bitch," or something. And I'm just like, "Oh, bro." But
jeez,
I don't know. I feel like that meme kind of like came and went real quick, and then
yeah,
like there's definitely like a group of people like Danny Bartok and stuff like that where like they
hmm
have their own little take on it, and I feel like that
yeah,
makes the difference.
right, right,
But for me, like I started just trying things, and I
hmm
always made sure to just be myself. You
yeah,
know, I think so many people are trying to do these trends, and I mean, I do
yeah,
skits, but at the same time, like my skits are like my type of humor. Like there's
right,
there's some of them that like I did one where it was this long fledged out like hospital scene between some of my characters, and
yeah,
like it did decent, but like it was a long video, and so like it was my
yeah,
type of humor, and
hmm
yeah, I think there's definitely a portion of my community that like don't care what it is. Like they're
right,
watching for me, and I think that is
yeah, and that's
so
awesome.
important to focus on those people.
Yeah, like that's in there was like such a I had a I think it was a Monday night or something like that. I had stumbled upon um Bad Bear was doing something where he was in a Discord call and just random people were popping in and out, and they were like, Kyle, you need to get in there and talk. So I go in there and we start talking about content, and we were talking about like, and this is gonna wrap into like community and the viewers that you want, the type of people you want to focus your content on. Um, a lot of people are making, are trying to make content directed towards streamers.
Mm,
Well, at the end of the day, like, yeah, it's cool to make friends and have these, business relationships with other streamers, but like they're not like those aren't the people that are going to stay in your streams all night.
yeah,
You want to focus on content of like the actual viewers, the people that are there that are content consumers rather than content creators or
yeah,
streamers in that aspect. And that's I think that was kind of an eye opener for me. Um, so it's just one of those things like that's really that's the goal. And a
yeah,
lot of people that are starting off don't realize that. Um, you don't want to focus on getting like other streamers in your streams. You want to focus on getting
yeah,
the everyday person. Those are
yeah.
the people that you want.
Like I hate. I've said it before. I hate the word collab, man. I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like to me, it's if I'm playing with another streamer, it's because we're friends. Like
Yeah.
I'm playing with a friend. It's not like, hey, we're
Yeah.
we're having a big collab night and all that.
hmm
Um, like, I mean, you don't hear Tim the Tatman and Nickmercs talking about, yeah, we're collabing and all that stuff. Like, no, those guys are friends. They just happen to
Yeah.
play with each other all the time because they enjoy it. And obviously, there's the hype around it now, or
Right.
has been. But like, I had played with Bad Bear, and he had set up a lot of like crazy collabs and stuff like that. And
hmm
it was awesome, but I found myself getting so like fixated on like, all right, do I promote this? Should I try and reach out and like hang out in that person's community, try to play with them, outside of the collabs or, whatever
Sure.
offline. And it's like I was spending so much time like trying to play with other people and stuff like that that I
hmm
wasn't focusing on myself. As soon as I flipped
Yeah.
that to where it was the opposite way around, that I
hmm
feel like I saw like a huge explosion.
Yeah.
But Because Bad Bear, dude, he's definitely like the king of collabs, in my opinion, on
He really
like
is.
TikTok. Um, but me and Bad Bear specifically, I haven't played with him in a while, and I think it's just because I don't have that same kind of like personality he does. Like I'm more of like I just want to chill and hang out, and
Yeah.
you know, and he's very much like he just wants to go after it. He wants to be
Yeah.
cracking jokes, doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and
Yeah.
like
He's about the content.
I don't think I
Like,
bounce very well, so I can get why he doesn't want to like collab anymore,
yeah.
but
And
um
that's okay though.
yeah, it's fine. That's the thing is like not everybody's gonna click and flow together, you know.
Exactly. And it doesn't change the relationship at all.
No.
Like you like and that like um coming in I would say I'm a little bit on the older side
How old are you?
in this community. I'm 33.
You're 33. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm a little older.
I turned 25 next Saturday.
Yeah.
So
So I've been around the block and that's why I'm not like easily offended and you know I kind of approach things a little bit differently. And that's where people like I have to tell people no. I don't like telling people no. And I was actually talking to I don't know if you know who John C. Stout is. Um,
yeah.
him and I like we talk about this and like you get to the point where you know you're going to get a lot of people asking you to do stuff and
Yeah.
you have to say no based on your own sanity because if you're just doing nothing but collabs like at some point you're going to get burnt out because it can be exhausting to do collaborations to
hmm
have co-streams and all that stuff like you need to be able to take a step back focus on your content and I think a lot of the people that are starting off like it's cool to connect, but at some point you got to cut the cord and
Yeah.
focus on you because that's where your growth's going to come from. So
Yeah. No, it sounds weird to say it like that, but honestly, like you gotta be kind of selfish because
you do,
you gotta focus on yourself, you know.
yep.
So
If you want success, yeah, facts.
yeah, like my whole mentality is just if I'm not improving, like
Hmm.
I don't feel like I'm accomplishing what I need to. You know, I
Right.
see I look at all these like I watch a lot of those YouTube videos where it's like how streamers started, like big streamers like
Hmm.
Shroud or something, you know, and like
Yeah.
how or like Tim the Tap Man and like how things have gone from like when they started to now. And it
Yeah.
seems a lot of those streamers that like are still big, they just continued to keep improving.
Yeah.
They never got comfortable. And so
Yeah.
to me it's like I if I feel like I'm getting comfortable, I start to worry because I'm like,
Yeah.
that's yeah. Um
Which is weird
yeah, it
because
is weird.
like when you're constantly trying to change things, like there's an anxiety aspect with that,
Oh
right?
yeah, dude.
So it's like
Oh yeah.
it's constant anxiety, but like I don't know. It's really hard to explain because I don't want to be comfortable. You know,
Yeah.
I was talking about it on stream the other night. Like I've always been good at stuff. I've always been, I've been okay at sports. I've always been okay at doing a good job. I've always been good at things. This is like really when it comes to this and creating content and streaming, I feel like I'm great at it. It's like one of those few, it's like that thing, I enjoy entertaining. I enjoy talking to people and like this is the first. So now it's just like I want to hold on to that. I want to do whatever I can to improve and keep going. And
Yeah.
that's the mentality you have to have. So,
Yeah. I also think like a big mentality is like you gotta because it's so easy, especially at first, because if you're not
mhm,
used to like people like in the comments just talking about you, you know.
yeah,
But it's so easy to get focused on like the negative feedback
yeah,
or the
yeah.
trolls and stuff like that.
So she wants a little bit of anonymity. So I can't really focus on like, I can't do the family stuff with them on camera. So I have to like come up with creative ways. So now, it's actually going to drop next week where someone asked a question it's like, hey, driver junior, how do you do this? So I was like, perfect, we'll do that. And I asked to talk to my daughter, who, she's 9, And I was like, how do you feel about this? She goes, all right, cool. Because she wanted to be a part of the content creation process without being on the camera. And it was hard to figure out what can we do to really have her a part of this.
Yeah.
And I think we figured this out. So
How old is
she's a
she?
smart kid. She's 9.
9. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll
'Cause,
be
like,
10 this year, so that's crazy to me.
little man's he's about to turn 4 in May.
Mhm.
So like for him, it's like he always wants to know what I'm doing. You know, he wants to see
Yeah.
everything, stuff like that.
Mhm.
But at the same time, like I don't want him to like look back when he's in like high school and just be like my
Yeah.
parents just shoved a camera in my face all the time. So like I try to
Yeah.
like I only try to include him if like he wants to be a part of it, or
Right. Yeah.
he's been asking, he's like he'll be like, dad, make G Fuel today, and I'm like, I don't know, like well I guess, and then we'll do
Maybe.
that. Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely weird, man, like including like a kid or
Yeah.
your significant other in your content, because it's just such a different
It
it's
is.
mixing work with home, and that's
Yeah.
always, yeah, it's always, it's just weird, you
So
know.
it's like that it's you have to be careful,
Yes.
right? You want to so I want people to know like I'm just a normal dude. I'm a dad and all that stuff. Like you want to show those things
Yeah.
without being too revealing, right? Because especially when we're in the face of, the internet, and the internet can be a wild, wonderful, dangerous, weird place that it is, we have to be careful.
Yeah.
So, and I think having her talk off camera, I think that'll be a good mix, and I think that'll be,
That's
um,
different. I don't think I've
yeah.
seen anything like that, so
So I mean, she's a smart kid. Like ever since she was born, we never really talked to her like she was a baby. It's always we talked to her like she was a person, and like she's it's weird. I feel like I have a teenager on my hands. It's a strange thing. So when I talk to her, we have conversations. It's she has really interesting perspectives on things, and I think it'll make good content. Um, I
yeah.
think people like it, and it gets to kind of show a little bit of a different aspect of who I am as a person, because
Yeah.
people come to your streams and stuff because they can relate. It's necessarily like I've
Mhm.
always thought games, when it comes to streaming, gaming's secondary. I'm sure there are people out there that go to watch the game, to watch someone sweat out, but uh, really people come to hang out because they like your personality and they can relate to you and all that stuff. So,
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's what everybody strives to have, is that community that
yeah.
really does like you for you, and not just because like you're playing Tarkov and there's
Hmm.
drops right now or something, because I see
Yeah.
that happen a lot. Because I mean, it's scary, man. Like the ebbs and flows of
Hmm.
content creation, all that. There's,
Yeah.
I mean, it comes in waves, man. Like there
It really does.
right when I told the assistant director that had called me, was like, hey, things are opening back up, and I had to like
Yeah.
on the spot tell him like, hey, like I think I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
Mhm.
Um, like literally the week after there was that huge drop, and I had to like I sat there and I was like, okay, either I can give up and call that guy back and be like, you know what, I changed my mind, or
Yeah.
I could like double down and really put some effort into this stuff. And I think that's when there was a really big kind of shift. But I don't know, man. I think this is me just kind of like thinking to myself, but everybody has a peak, right? Whether
Yeah.
whether you like to talk about it or not. And so like I always try to think like like I'm not there yet, and I think
Mhm.
that's what everybody kind of does. So
Right.
it's just, this career field it's definitely it's very mentally taxing, man.
It is.
You know?
Well, I mean, and that's the scary thing,
Yeah.
especially with like I mean, you're doing this full time. This is your job. Like this is your income.
Hmm.
And when it comes to doing this stuff, like the worry because of how volatile it is. It's not steady. It's not a like you aren't guaranteed. Like when it comes to streaming, I'm sure you have your with your partnerships and whatnot. I'm sure that there's some sort of agreement there. Um, but when it comes to like Twitch streaming and your income from Twitch, it's volatile.
Yeah.
So that right there is terrifying in itself.
Yeah. I mean, that's
So
so TikTok. When I started out and I got serious
mhm,
about it, I was posting like 10 videos a day,
yeah,
and like there was a point, and it was actually the point because I had mentioned it earlier. When some drama had happened, that like I had realized like, dude, like I am burnt out. Like I am
yeah,
grasping for straws to like come up with some new content. And once I like took a step back and realized like, hey, like it's gotten to the point where I just care about like trying to wow people or get
yeah,
people's attention, or whatever it is. um like I had known that like I'd kind of pushed myself too far,
yeah,
and so like I dialed it back to like 5 videos a day, and I've stuck with that
hmm
to this point.
hmm
And I think there's only been like one day where I only posted like one video, but like it's
hmm
definitely a lot of it's consistency.
yeah,
But I mean, like I definitely see days where like I can look at my content and be like, it's just not that good today, and like the views reflect that.
yeah, yeah.
So, but TikTok has definitely become, I would say like maybe like a third or a little more than a third of my income now. So it's definitely,
Oh, so you're the
um,
creator. You're in the creator program.
yeah, like I
I bowed out because I don't know. Like I think it's just different for other people. I was putting out, the content that I was putting out that normally does well
yeah,
wasn't performing. And then when I backed out of the creator program, that same content did great. So I don't know what it is. I wasn't too worried about it because, again, this is all secondary to me. Like, would I like this all to be my career? Absolutely.
hmm,
I'm not there yet, though. I figured here's what I like my game plan was like, we'll back out of the creator program. Let's focus on putting out the content that we want to put out. Let's focus on building up the audience, and then maybe we'll reevaluate and then rejoin, because at that point, at 100,000, 200,000, wherever I end up, those are a little bit more of a guaranteed view for the people that are following you, right? Um, and guaranteed is a loose statement, but like you show up on the people's feed of the following feed or whatever. So, and then maybe we'll join back. But I just wasn't seeing the benefit. For you, dude, freaking kudos. I mean, the numbers that you put out are insane and inspiring to me. Um, so who knows? Maybe we'll be there one day.
yeah. I don't, I guess I've talked to several creators on here about it. I don't
um,
know. I don't think anybody really knows how the creator fund works.
right.
I definitely think that they take into account like the age demographic and stuff.
Hmm.
Like that affects how much you get paid for video. Um, so I think it seems like it is kind of like YouTube, where like the better the video does, the more you make, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but I know some people, I think Bad Bear, for instance, he was like, for the amount of money that you make from those videos early on, it's like it's not really, it doesn't seem like worth it. So like I could see
Mhm.
how some people are like, they might
Yeah.
might jump out just to kind of grow first, and that makes sense to
Yeah, and
me.
then jump back in. That's been
Yeah.
kind of like my mentality on it. So,
Yeah, I just never left. I was
I
always
mean,
more focused on Twitch at the time. So,
yeah. So,
but and then
but kudos to
now
that, man.
now YouTube, I'm curious because I have no idea. Like it seems like it, like I said, it depends on how well the videos do. But I
Right.
mean, I don't know. The way I look at it is like once I get monetized on YouTube, it's just gonna be extra couple $100 a month probably with the amount of videos I put out. So
Right. And that's
yeah,
awesome. Like
yeah,
that. I mean, a
diversifying is
heck,
definitely important. Not putting all your
a
eggs in one
couple hundred
basket.
bucks a month is
Yeah,
that's stuff that can go back into your content.
yeah.
I mean,
Because like I have merch through Stream Elements, but
mhm,
like that, I feel like Stream Elements is so kind of generic that people are just like, you know. Like I
yeah.
feel like a lot of people, um, like it seems like Christmas time was really good with that, and then
Mhm,
after that, like I don't make much, maybe like 100 a month just with the Stream
Yeah,
Elements merch. But
that's a
I've
whole
got,
nother monster I have to get into.
dude, I'm definitely thinking about like going through a legit like merch brand now at this point. So that's probably something I'll be working on in the near future.
Yeah,
I did just one of my mods started editing like stream highlights for me,
yeah,
and so now I'm talking to somebody on like Team Elevate, the team that I'm on, about who's like more of like that's what he does, because this mod has like a real job and stuff. He just volunteered to like help out.
sure.
So like that's another thing I've been focusing on is like trying to get some of the stream highlights on YouTube because like I stopped doing that for
Yeah.
a while. The
I mean,
podcast
that's
became like a huge focus. So
yeah, those are. I mean, the stream highlights, like they're good. It gives you an insight as to what's going on.
yeah,
So it's and that's something like I don't have the time. I don't. I don't have the time to do YouTube. And
yeah,
so I do like I have someone that's volunteering some time that's going to help out a little bit until maybe we'll get to the point where I can pay someone to do it on a regular basis.
yeah,
And I mean, granted, it probably won't be much, but I mean, it'll go up. Like if if the channel gets monetized, the videos start getting monetized, it means more money for them. So it's a little bit of an incentive for for them to kind of stick with it. But uh
yeah. I definitely plan on just like reinvesting whatever it is I make on YouTube back into like
yeah,
the videos. So um,
it's a, and that's the thing. It's just like
I
there's so much that people don't realize that goes into all of this.
yeah. I mean, I made a TikTok the other day because somebody was like, and I totally made a joke out of it. I turned it
Mhm.
into like a G Fuel ad because they were like, "What do you need so much? Like, what do you need all these energy drinks for? All you do is move your fingers all day." And I was like, "Bro, like, I'm over here
Like,
pumping out 5 TikToks a day. Like 5 YouTube videos a week, streaming 6 times a week. I got a family, like all this stuff. I got a
yeah,
podcast." And I was like, "G Fuel's the only thing that keeps me going, man. You're just not ready for it."
yeah,
Uh, a
it's a
lot of
whole
people.
monster.
Yeah, I mean, I still get it every time. Get a real job, you know.
It's like,
And I'm just
okay,
like,
come
bro,
do what I do.
I probably work more than you. Like, you know what I mean? I'm always like, my fiance would be like, hey, you want to watch the new WandaVision? I was like, I don't think I have time. We're gonna have to wait
Yeah,
like a day or two. Like I just got too much on my plate. So like yeah, and
it's
like
like you come over here,
so one thing,
work your 9 to 5, and
yeah,
then
I
do
wish it was
content
like that.
creation. It's like
Oh no, sorry, I thought you meant like work 9 to 5, like doing the
well, I mean, like these people that are
yeah,
like get a job. It's like, are you kidding me? I'm working 2 jobs right
yeah,
now, homie. I work my 9 to 5, and then I'm working on content, and then I'm up until 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning doing other stuff for
yeah,
this for all this. Like, what do you mean I'm not doing this isn't a real job? Like, get out of
yeah.
here, bro.
No, I don't know if anything's gonna happen with it, but I definitely still plan on doing the film and TV stuff just from like the
Yeah.
acting perspective. Like I want to
Hmm.
go try doing that because it's all connections, and I feel like somebody's gonna be like, "Hey, my kid watches you," or I
Yep.
know who you are, and like I'll get some goofy role or something maybe because
Mm,
the um the film industry over here in New Mexico is like exploding. Like Netflix just
yeah.
invested like $1 billion into the studios here. So
Oh,
like
nice.
they're supposed to film like the fifth season of Stranger Things here. Um
Oh,
like I joked around with I think Stony Stark. He was like, "Yeah, he's like you got to get the cameo where you're just like the dude in the background, just all 80s out, like just eating a bag of Doritos, like that's your cameo." Like,
um,
and I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I should do." But
yeah.
yeah, no, that's another thing is like I mean, you look at like these content creators who are still like a known name, and it's like they're doing something outside of content creation. Like, I mean, you got Jake and Logan Paul over here like boxing people, um,
Yeah.
acting, all that stuff, and it's like, yeah, you have to,
Yeah.
in order to go like above and beyond,
Mhm.
you have to do different stuff. You got to get out of your comfort zone,
Yeah.
and so like I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna I think I'm gonna start signing up for stuff once I get some of my personal life stuff taken care of. Like I gotta go get my. So, dude, I didn't know that New Mexico you have to be there's like some test you have to take until you're 25. Where if you go get your driver's license for the first time, there's like some DUI program. Like you got to take like some practice test, get a certificate,
Jeez.
and then go take the real test and all that. So I show up to like the last appointment of the day to get my
Mhm.
driver's license. And he's like, "Ooh, when's your birthday?" I was like, "March 6th." He's like, "Yeah, you probably want to come back." And I was like, "Why?" And he's like, "Because there's a test you have to take, and like we
What?
close in like 15 minutes." And I was like, "Well, let me take this test." And he's like, you got to sign up. You got to take a practice test, get the certificate." I was like, "I'll be back." I was like, "All right, never mind." Like, and it's like $25, every time you take it and all that. But I was like, I'll take it right now. I'm sure it's all like, how many drinks should you have before you get behind the wheel, or something like that. So
0.
yeah, it's
The answer is
0.
always 0. The answer is 0, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the answer is 0.
Yeah,
It's 0. Oh man.
but I got that. I still have to do like the VA disability stuff, because like
Yeah.
I got tinnitus and hearing loss, and my knees are all messed up and just all kinds of stuff in the military. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's just with the guy who like started my case for that, like like you schedule all the appointments,
Mhm.
and that's a huge long process. It takes like 6 months to get it all complete. The guy who started my thing got COVID, and then I never heard from him
What?
again. So I hope he's still alive. But
Oh, he's still alive. Oh my gosh.
he was an older dude. But like I moved states, so I'm gonna have to start the whole process over. But like I didn't hear nothing. I tried calling, I tried emailing, nothing. The office was like, yeah, he's the one who's handling your case. And I was like, well, I haven't heard nothing from him. So I kind of just gave up because I was like, I'm moving. So because I moved right before Christmas.
Yeah.
So
And you moved from California to Arizona.
New Mexico.
New Mexico, sorry. New
Yeah, I'm
Mexico.
from
Why do I keep
Arizona.
thinking Arizona? Okay,
Yeah, I'm
Arizona.
from Arizona. But
Oh,
the Coyotes, terrible, poor team. Just not gonna talk about them.
yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. So
But
what so in New Mexico, what is the who do like what's the hockey team of choice in New Mexico?
there's nothing here. There's like no
There's
sports teams
nothing.
at all. There's a couple minor league like baseball teams and
Mhm.
things like that. But
I just know
I don't
that
know,
like
with the way
sometimes
it's
they're
growing. With the way it's growing. I mean, they talk about like Albuquerque turning into like the next LA in like a decade. So,
oh nice. Well, there you
because
go.
dude, there's just like I went from like a 900 square foot apartment, like
Mhm.
a 2 bedroom, 1 bath, for I think we were paying 2,200 a month,
Jesus.
to a 1,500 square foot townhouse for 1,100 a month. So literally half, you know. And so like the cost of living here is literally 50% cheaper all around.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think with Texas, it seems like Texas and Nevada are kind of like having a huge influx of people moving from California right now.
Oh yeah.
So I think once because Nevada's definitely getting more expensive.
Uh-huh.
Because I looked at that, there was a job that I was going to apply for, a content creator job at an esports like studio
Yeah.
in Vegas. But then once I like saw the cost of living there, I was like, I don't think so. It wasn't much
Yeah.
of a difference than LA. So, but Texas, my sister just moved there, and it seems like there's so many people moving to Texas that like there's 10, 20 people competing for every house that you find.
Yeah.
So that's an
It's
issue.
well, Houston's a huge transplant city.
Hmm. Yeah.
Especially in like IT. Um, so it's I mean, our one of our engineers that works or he lives in Texas. He moved from um the New England area and I mean he was a transplant. I mean, you're looking at like well you have North Carolina, you have Raleigh and Houston are huge transplant cities.
Yeah.
So meanwhile I'm stuck in Michigan.
Hmm. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens to Texas in like the next
Yeah,
decade. Because I,
yeah.
I I I am one of those people that believes, when people move from one state, a lot of their policies and laws and stuff like that, their ways of running the state are gonna come with it. I'm sure
Mhm.
there's gonna be a lot of different taxes and stuff that Texas starts doing, because there's just not very much tax there right now. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting. Because like again, like talking about not getting into politics too much because
Yeah.
I don't care for it. But I
No.
definitely see like there's shifts happening. Like Arizona, my home state was when I was growing up was very Republican, and now it's pretty much flipped to Democrat. It seems like
Yeah.
so. It's interesting,
The world is
but
interesting.
yeah,
The world is very interesting,
yep.
and yeah, I just and how often, because it happens to me quite a bit. How often do you have someone coming into your stream trying to bring up politics?
Not as much anymore. I feel like my community has gotten to the point where if somebody comes in and starts trying to start crap or
Bam, no
yeah,
politics.
everybody's just like, bro, we're just hanging out trying to play a game. Get out of
Yeah,
here with that. Not here, you
it's
know.
it's not so much anymore because obviously the election's over.
Oh,
But
dude, it
like,
was
oh,
so
dude,
annoying.
so bad. I'm like, dude, come on.
Trump 2020, and then like you be like, come on, man, no politics. Oh, you don't like Trump? It's like, bro,
It's like, no, 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 just
I didn't say
and
nothing. I just said we're playing a video game. You know, like
yeah,
I'm not, because I consider myself a moderate. So like I just kind of stay in between. You know, I don't really side with anything. So when people come in and try to like one side things, I get pissed.
I
You
just
know.
and then I tell people this. I go, we don't come here like if you want to go talk politics, there's several
Oh yeah,
content
go to just
creators on
chatting.
Twitch that are talking politics.
Yeah.
But here in this channel, people come to escape that
Yep.
nonsense. Like
Coming to
that's
escape that
kind of
stuff.
like that's
Yeah.
when it comes to my streams, like my goal, because people deal with bullshit on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Video games and going to Twitch streams, that's the escape from real life.
Mm-hmm.
So my goal as a streamer is to kind of take them out of the real world and kind of just give them a place to just vibe for a little
Yeah.
bit and just forget about all all the negative. So like we are a like we are a very positive community, and when someone tries to come in and disrupt that, like they get mad. Like they're like, "Dude, no." And my mods are real good and they take care of it really quick, and we'll just be like, we move
Yeah.
on, we ignore it
Yeah, I would say the
because
biggest issue I have right now is people coming in and posting peepees and butt cheeks made of like symbols.
oh yeah, oh those are great, those are great. I mean, it's creative. You got to give them the creative aspect of it. I mean, it's
Not really.
creative,
They're all
but
copied and pasted at this point. So
at this
I think
point,
all the
right
creative juice out of that is gone.
now, it's just it's
Yeah.
you have those ones.
Somebody will come in and
I've
be
had a
like, "Come
couple.
on, man! I've already seen that one like 10 times today."
Give me
Like,
something new.
yeah, and I mean they're all Insta bans. You know, it's like you're gonna come post
Yeah,
a peepee in the chat. Like, I don't think you're here to
yeah,
hang out.
yeah.
It's
The internet's
ridiculous.
weird,
Yeah,
man. The internet's so weird,
yeah,
but
and I
it's
mean like
great at the same time.
it definitely gets worse as you go on. You know, like it's just
Yeah,
yeah,
and
but
and that's where it's like like I get it. There's gonna be that one person that says that one thing that's it's just gonna rub you wrong, and it's gonna sit there and um it's gonna fester, and it can ruin your day.
dude, they
And
try so hard to, man. Some of them, like
yeah,
just the stuff that they say to try and rally you up. It's like, bro, I'm always like, dude, I don't know what's going on with you today.
uh-huh,
Like, I don't know what's going on in your home right now, but it didn't warrant you saying that to me. Like, I'm like, you know,
yeah,
if you're gonna be like that, like you're
hmm
not wanted here, you know. And like the mod, they're always like, oh well, ban me then. I'm like, no, the mods aren't banning you. You know, like you're not even getting that attention. Like,
yeah.
I just want you to know that like whatever you said, don't care. You know.
I'm extremely disappointed in you.
Yeah, I
Like,
feel
just
sorry for
hit him with
you
that. Yeah,
that came out of your brain. You know.
and when it comes you got to have thick skin. You have to,
Mm-hmm.
like, letting it, like, that's the biggest thing. And that, like, me being, I grew up quick because I used to, I cared about how people thought and how people felt. And when someone said something negative, it kind of rocked me a little bit. But
Yeah.
you grow up quick, you get that thick skin, and you just learn to laugh it off. Like, and people will say weird things, the weirdest things, just to throw off the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to us to be able to think on the fly.
Yeah.
So that way, because someone can completely ruin the vibe of an entire stream. One person can disrupt everything.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still the case with, you know, larger viewership, because chat can be flying and it can be lost in the in the
Yeah,
chaos.
sometimes I'll
But
just ignore it, and then like by the time I look back over, it's deleted. So like I don't even
yeah,
acknowledge some of it. But
but
when I see
with
somebody constantly spamming, trying to make an effort, like I'll be like,
yeah,
bro,
yeah, it's like cool your jets,
yeah,
man.
chill out,
Um,
man.
but it's up to us to kind of, not to let it, because
Yeah.
it can completely ruin the vibe. Like we had, and luckily it was near the end of stream. I had someone come in and they go, "I have to unfollow you." I'm like, "Okay, why?" Like it was the end of stream. I was like, "All right, let's play with this one for
Yeah.
a little bit." And I gotta unfollow you. I'm like, "Okay, why do you have to unfollow me?" Uh, and they go, "Well, I don't like it when your notifications pop up and I don't even watch you." Okay. And then it was just like chat's like, "What? What is happening right now? Is this real life?" Like, I'm just like, out of all the things. And then here's the funny thing. They were back the next day, the next stream.
Well, you
They
gave
didn't
them
even
attention.
unfollow. Oh, they just
Like,
wanted the attention. And
yeah,
it's like, all
that's a
right,
lot of
cool.
times.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. See you, man. I'm sorry you have to go.
Bro, I
It's
had
like,
some guy was like, he's like, I'm unfollowing. And I was like, well, I'm unfollowing too. And he's just like, what? And I was like, he's like, you're not following me. And I'm like, I'm not anymore. I just clicked on follow, bro. You know, it's like, like,
what?
yeah. And
What
then
is
like
happening?
he
Like, oh
messaged
man.
me, he whispered me after the stream. It was like, hey man, I just want to say there was no reason for me to say what I said. I'm sorry, this and that, you know. I was like, it's all good, man. I was just joking
Yeah.
around, you know. But
What
yeah,
would
no.
you say your demographic is?
Um, I would say mainly kind of like probably I would say the majority of people are around like 14 to 18, and then I have like probably the next biggest demographic is like people around my age. I mean, dude, I
Mhm.
even have people where somebody's um, like veterans that come in, you know, and they're like, you
Yeah.
know, I did 20 years doing this and that, and like really like seeing a fellow service member, you know, have success in something outside of
Right.
the military. And I'm like, you know, that's awesome. And then, you know, they're always, those people are definitely more lurkers, you know,
Hmm.
they don't really like to interact a
Yeah.
whole lot, but they like to let me know that they're there. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Um, it drives me nuts because, you know, you have to protect yourself.
Hmm.
I definitely see it as I've grown. There's people who are like, especially with the G Fuel. They're like, Danny, what's a good what's a good age to start drinking G Fuel? Because I'm 12, and I'm like, bro, you can't be here.
You can't.
Yeah.
And then
So
there's the how old are you? Like the type of like, one, you can't ask me and I can't ask you. Like that's the rules. Like that's TOS right there. I'm not allowed to do that. And you got to be careful. You
yeah,
got to be careful, especially like
yeah. I mean, I'll always just say, I'm like, look, G Fuel's website says recommended for 18 and over. If you're not
yep,
sure, ask your parents. You know.
yep.
But you know,
So,
and then I always be like, well, but G Fuel hydration. You know, like there's no caffeine in
mhm,
it. That's usually the biggest thing. So I'll
yeah.
usually recommend that. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, and I've had people like they'll be like, "Well, why did I get banned?" And it's like an alt account, you know, and they're like,
Mhm.
"I don't get it." Like, and I'm like, "Dude, there's an age requirement to
Yeah.
like be on Twitch and ban
Yeah.
them again, you know." But like,
So
and there's always the one guy who's like, "Well, good thing I turned 14 today." I'm like, "Good thing you did," you know, like,
yeah, yeah, good thing. Good
good
thing.
for
'Cause
you, bro. Happy
thir
birthday.
isn't 13 the cutoff?
Yeah, it's 13 plus,
It's
I think. Yeah,
13. Yeah. So, like, I'll even
yeah,
have like, I mean, shoot, like, my daughter's turning into my hype person. She's 9, and so all of her little classmates, they're all 9, 10, and she's all hyping me. She's like, because they were playing Among Us the other day, and they were all going ham. Like the kids were talking about Mr. Beast and PewDiePie, which was weird because like that's the circle that like that's the things that I pay attention to. Like that's
yeah,
what I know about these things, and I'm like they're talking about this. This is kind of weird in itself. And then my daughter, I don't know, she's like, yeah, well, my dad's a streamer, and they were like, whoa,
Oh,
no way, Eliza's
yeah,
so cool. Like, and that was cool. I'm like, my hype, that's my hype person right there. So it's like, and then like I get one of them was like, hey, can I come to your stream? No, you're not old enough. I'm like,
yeah.
don't.
Well, the funny thing
So
is like um my mom is an elementary school teacher. And so
yeah,
like I know that her students aren't old enough. So if they come in and they're
yeah.
like, "Your mom's my teacher." I'm like, "That's awesome, dude." And like I got to ban them cuz I know for a fact, you know. But like and then I have some people come in and like, "Your mom was my teacher like 3 or 4
Okay.
years ago." And I'm like, That's interesting."
All right,
So,
we're teetering. It's like we're
yeah.
teetering.
But
Oh
no,
man.
it's
Oh,
I'm just like, please don't start saying names, you know, because like I
yeah,
try to,
yeah.
I'm trying to hold off on that. I know if I did start acting and stuff like that goes out the window.
Mm.
But
Well, I mean, you always have that alias. Like you can like you do your. I mean, shit. You could sit there and be Danny Dorito
I don't know. To me,
in.
part of it, I almost want to keep it separate. You know, like my acting.
Yeah.
If I was going to be an actor, I want my acting stuff to be
Hmm.
different.
Well, just make
You
a
know,
different
so
alias. Just make a different
different
stage name.
alias.
Yeah, just make a different stage name.
I don't
That's
know.
kind of how I am. Like I'm 33, and like there have been I've had like I had family members that didn't know I was doing TikTok, and I'd
Yeah,
have my cousins sending me TikToks of people stitching my "oh yeah" uh, challenge, and they're
I did
like,
that.
"Bro, I'm shook," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on TikTok. I'm on TikTok," and like I'll have people that'll come into lives that I'm doing, and they're like, "Are you?" I'm like, they go, "I think I know you." I'm like, before you say anything else, we need to
Yeah,
be very general here because I don't want people to know my last name.
yeah.
I'm Kyle Driver. I'm
To
Kyle
me,
Driver from Michigan.
it's like if people are trying to figure out what my real name is, then like I've probably gotten to the point where it's like you know, should stop trying to like hide it because people are.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't take long. Um, like we
Hmm.
posted about how they just wanted to know Little Man's real name. Like that, they just wanted to know, and I had to
Yeah.
explain. I was like, dude, like Roman Atwood, like look at what he's been going through.
Yeah.
Like somebody contacted like his kid's school, like all the schools in like his kid's
Hmm.
county, only because he knew the kid's first name to
Yeah.
try and like kidnap him. Just calling the schools like saying like, "Oh, I'm an uncle," you know, to come pick you up or whatever.
It's
Um,
weird.
and so it's like until he's old enough to where like I know he's like stranger danger, like I'm just
Yeah.
not I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna
You
chance
can't.
it.
You can't. And that's I mean that's the danger of the internet, and people are just there are weird people out there.
Yeah,
And that's why the missus wants to be, she wants anonymity. The
because
kid
I mean,
wants anonymity.
as soon as that happened, as soon as we made that TikTok, there was somebody who went on Facebook
Mhm.
and they couldn't see anything except profile pictures.
Yeah.
Like they could see like a first name and profile pictures, but or I think it wasn't even the first name, but like he just made a TikTok just showing all of my fiance's Facebook profile pictures, like going way back. And I was just like, that
That's
is
so
just
weird.
super weird, dude. And
That's weird.
like took care of it and everything, but like it was just like, that's why you gotta be careful. Cause like there's people who just
Mhm.
like that satisfies them, you know, satisfies them to
Yeah.
go figure that stuff out and then like try to show people. So
Yeah. eh,
that
And
was the
that's
day I
the
deleted Facebook.
yeah. I'm pretty good at keeping, like, I keep my Facebook, like, that's my personal shit. It's completely like being in IT and having friends that are in information security. I have things pretty locked down for the most part.
Yeah.
Um, so that's why my Instagram, my Twitter, and all that stuff are completely separate
Yeah. I still
from
have no
from
idea
from
like
that.
what that person searched or whatever to find that cuz like I don't think there was like
People like whether it's reverse lookups
yeah, who
or
knows.
whatnot, but it's people are weird,
Yeah.
and if there's that will, people will find that way. And fortunately, I've done pretty well. Granted, I mean I haven't even been doing this a year, and the more I grow, I mean the higher the risk, and it's gonna be a matter of time where I'm out in public and they go, hey, look, it's Kyle Driver. So
Yeah, I
Have you
mean,
had that yet? Have you had
oh
the in
yeah.
public?
I just had somebody recognize me at Walmart the other night, and like the thing
Nice.
is like right now with the masks, it seems like they're
Mhm.
hesitant to come up and say hi. So once
Yeah,
that kind of dies down, the mask thing,
yeah,
I think people actually come up and say hi. But like everybody, I'm
yeah,
like, why didn't you say hi? And they're like, well, I wasn't 100% sure if it was you,
yeah.
So
So it's a blessing and a curse right now for,
mm. Yeah,
especially
as
the
soon as the
content
masks
creators
go
that are.
away,
It's gonna be interesting. It will be interesting. Like my daughter was talking about, she goes, it'll be weird when we're out in public and someone will go, hey, it's Ky1eDriver, and my wife's like, oh God. Like she
yeah,
dreads it. She's very, she's introverted. We're complete polar opposites. I'm very outgoing. I'm, and she's just like, oh, I'm good. Like we like to
yeah.
travel. We just like, she likes to keep to herself, and whatnot. So she likes to be in her own little world. So this whole thing is she's completely disinterested,
Yeah.
and like she's glad that that I found something that I enjoy doing. I love doing. I have a lot of passion for. Um, and in my opinion, I think I do have something to offer. Um, it does take a special person to really do something on Twitch, like to really grow.
I think everybody has something to offer. They just don't know
Mhm.
how to
Right.
how to do it.
Mhm.
Because like to me, like there's people who are like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I don't understand like why it's not
Yeah.
working. And I think a lot of it is just there's two things that really stand out to me, and it's getting out of your comfort zone, and then it's
Mhm.
being a critic of yourself. Because like
Yeah.
once I looked at myself and I was like, I'm looking at all these other TikToks,
Yeah.
and I just don't see the same like
Mhm.
quality or time, effort out of it. And once I changed that, like, I started to grow. And then like I
Mhm.
said, I got stuck at like I think I was stuck at like 150K for like 3 months, like between
Yeah.
100 and 150K. And then Christmas time, I saw it as like an opportunity to kind of like I was seeing a little spark, and I was like, I gotta light a fire. I can't just let the spark go away. So I
Yeah.
took my setup with me to visit my sister for Christmas and New Year's. I think it was New Year's.
Mhm.
Um, and that was like one of my I had two of my best streams like ever for New Year's.
Yeah.
And so like that was when I was like, all right, like I think it was worth dragging my setup there, because I had definitely had people who are like, bro, you really got to bring your setup with you, you know like why can't you just spend time with family? And I was just like, they understand that, like that. I always
Yeah.
say, I'm like, like the next year is the most important year of my life. Like every year
Yeah.
is just
This is
got
your
to treat it that
livelihood.
way. Yeah. But
And
I don't know if I don't think I'm gonna take my setup again with me. I think it was just important to do it at that time. Like I'm going to visit for like Easter,
Mhm.
hopefully. And so it's like, I'm not gonna take it with me then, but
Well, what you could do, you just have like a little thing that'll get you by. Do like a just chatting, like have a go PC, just like very small form factor PC that'll run a just chatting stream and just call it a day. And just
yeah.
that way you can still connect,
Yeah.
because I'm sure your audience would love that.
Yeah.
Me, like, I get it. There's a huge stress with moving your entire setup. Huge
Yeah.
stress. I had to
I
for
was like,
my charity,
I hope my
like
PC
for my
survives the drive. It was like a
yeah,
7-hour drive.
yeah. It's rough. Like, luckily, I only had to drive like 10 minutes away, but like my internet crapped out, and my stress levels, dude, were through the roof for the charity stream. Like for the month of February, like those first like week and a half leading up to my charity stream, like anxiety through the roof. Like I was analyzing my internet because like my upload needed to be like there. Otherwise,
Yeah.
bad news bears, because the Thursday before the stream, the one that you were in for marbles, like I know that the stream looked fine, but there was still a delay, and I was having so much inconsistency with my upload speed, as well as Twitch was having issues that day. Like
When you're not.
I'm like, I cannot, like, I just can't even right now. So I'm like, I don't know what to do, because my internet wasn't, my upload was like, it would spike at like 20 megabytes per second upload, and then it would drop to like 1, and I'm like, I can't stream on this.
Yeah.
I'm screwed. Like, and luckily I had a friend who has fiber, and they're like, you can use our space, but moving that whole setup is stressful in itself. Just so I'm there with you, man. Like, just moving everything is stressful. Ooh, huh.
Yeah. Like I
I
said,
didn't like it.
I feel like it was an important time to do it though. Like I was like I
Absolutely.
told yeah, I told my fiance I was like I think I'm gonna take this setup with me to my sister's, and we ended up staying there an extra day
Yeah.
because I was like, like it was more time with them because like it
Yeah.
was like half working, half taking time
Mhm.
off, because the
Yeah.
holidays. Because like it
Right.
snowed, little man. I think it was the first time he could like remember snow, so like
Mhm.
it was a big deal to like go play in the snow with him and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
100%.
fireworks and all that fun stuff. So
For sure.
yeah,
So I think you bring up a good point. It's important to recognize when you have that momentum and
yeah,
how important it is to capitalize on that momentum. Because, like I'll say it a million more times, like anything can change like that,
yeah,
and then that's gone. And like you were at this very pivotal moment in your career to where like it needed to happen. So
yeah. I mean,
kudos to you,
like
man.
I kind of look at the future. And I'm like, all right, like what? Obviously, the summer. That's when everybody's like, like there's a lot more people at home. They don't have as much to do, so like there's gonna be more viewership. But it's like
Yeah.
the next thing is like spring break. So it's like, all right, what can I do to kind of like keep things kind of
Hmm.
going until spring break, and then spring break, I know there'll be like a big influx and then stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
because I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of it's just, thinking about like, okay, what are people doing right now? You know,
Yeah.
because like obviously, like there was one day where I streamed and I was like, dude, what happened? I have like half of the viewers I normally do, like it was just not, it didn't make sense. And then I was like, oh, there's the damn the what is it called? The Twitch Rivals Fortnite tournament. And I was like, I didn't
Yeah.
even realize. Like I sometimes I forget that there's other stuff going on,
Yeah.
in the streamer world. Um
Well, even outside the streamer world,
yeah, that too, but I mean like
like,
that day it was
yeah,
just like, yeah, I didn't even think about it.
I mean, UFC fights have messed with viewership. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm sure people that stream on Sundays that are like, hey, it's Super Bowl Sunday. I mean, like it's
Yeah.
crazy.
I don't stream
So
on Sundays.
yeah, I'm gonna. That's the day that we're looking at. Um,
I've really capitalized on the mornings, like
yeah.
early morning. I'll stream at like 6 a.m. Pacific 3 days a week. It's like
Mhm.
a whole nother crowd. So I definitely saw where like for like a couple weeks my community was like, wait, you stream in the morning too now? Like, like it was there's a
Mhm.
bit of like a lag behind, but now it's like it doesn't matter if I stream in the afternoon or in the morning, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah. Are you? How do you have your split? Are you doing 2 a days?
No. No, I do
No.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 a.m. Pacific, and then I do
Mhm.
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific.
And then Sunday's your day off.
Sundays I try not to do anything. Like I
That's
try to have
good. You got to have
TikToks
that day.
ready, and it's important, man. And like it sucks because like lately I feel like those days, like even Sundays don't feel like days off because there's all this like just life stuff that I got to take care
Yeah.
of.
Yeah. So where do you do your editing? Do you use a computer?
Same computer. I use the same computer for everything.
So have you, like, even for your TikToks?
No, no. So TikTok, I do it all on the phone. To me, it's like if I've got like okay, so I've made a pretty big um I've tried to point out to people that like my mindset with TikTok is that it's a gamble. Every time you make a TikTok, it's like throwing in a lottery
Yeah.
ticket, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, as you grow, your chances get better. But the
Hmm.
more time that you're investing into each TikTok, that's more time that you're gambling with. So it's like
Yeah.
I try not to spend more than
Hmm.
10, 15 minutes max on a TikTok. Because if I spend an hour and then it flops, it's like that hour was, a waste to me,
So let me
you know.
so let me ask you this. Are you making content, like, for the next, like let's say today you would be making content for tomorrow? Is that what
It
you do?
like I like today I have footage for one. I have
Mhm.
one that like I'm not sure about posting because it's just like me and Little Man reacting to like a drawing that somebody did,
Sure.
but like it's different, you know, like it's almost trying something. Um,
Right.
so like I'm thinking maybe like Sundays suck. Like
Yeah.
the TikToks just suck for Sundays. Like sometimes it's okay,
Weekends
sometimes
suck for me. Just
Saturdays do
weekends in
fine.
general.
Saturdays do fine, but like Sunday, I
Hmm.
don't know if it's just like a lot of people. It's family day or like they
Yeah.
church time, all that stuff. Super Bowl Sunday, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever's going on. Um, like I almost sometimes I don't post as much on Sundays. I'll post 3 or 4 times instead of 5. Um,
Yeah.
like that, it really just depends. Like yesterday, I think I had like 3 or 4. I think I had 3 TikToks ready. Sometimes I'll have 3 ready
Yeah.
in advance. Um,
Okay.
but I mean, when it's late at night and it's like, all right, we can either sit down and watch an episode of True Blood or whatever, me and my
Ooh.
fiance are watching at the time, or we can make 2 or 3 TikToks. Sometimes being lazy wins, it's
Oh
just
yeah.
how it is. So
I feel that.
it really just depends.
Have you heard about like the schedule feature on TikTok Web? You
No,
can schedule videos now.
but you have to upload it to like, how does it work?
You would have to do it through um the browser, which I mean, you could just throw it on. Like take your video that you shoot. Which I do all of mine. I edit all my videos through Video Leap on my mobile,
Uh-huh.
most of them. And then what I'm going to start doing now is just throwing them in my OneDrive and then uploading them from there and then just scheduling it out. Like that's going to save so much time instead of having to worry about like look at the clock like oh shit, I forgot to post. You know, I can just like I can take that one aspect like that one little thing could save time. So,
Yeah, for me, it's like as long as I post between like 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. at the latest, I'm fine. So
yeah.
like,
Okay.
the only thing I do is try to space them out at least 40 minutes because
Okay.
I found that if you post them back to back, it's like they fight for their place on the For You
Yes.
page.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they do. They do.
yeah, and like I said, I post 5 videos a day, um, and like I've talked to my fiance about it because I was like, I see bigger creators like once they get you know 2 3 million on TikTok, it's like they post less because when every video, because I mean I've seen it before where like I'll have one video
Mhm.
pop off and get like 5 million views. All my other
Yeah.
posts, it's like it steals views from them because it's just like taking
Yeah.
over everybody's For You page, and instead of
Yeah.
like sprinkling throughout. So it's like um I do feel like as I grow, I'll post less, but I don't ever see
Yeah.
myself posting less than 2 times a day. You
Yeah.
know.
I mean, I see a lot of like, especially like the bigger accounts, 2 million, 3 million. They post like maybe once a day, if not
Dude,
every other.
it drives me crazy because I'm like, dude, that's so like, especially knowing like how much you can make doing that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, that's such wasted potential. Like,
Yeah.
it's definitely gotten to the point for me where like, I'm not saying I want to get banned on Twitch, but if I got banned for 30 days, I feel like I'd be okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Be all right.
but at the same time, who knows? There could be an algorithm change, and all of a sudden I'm stuck, having a hard time getting more than 100,000 views all of a sudden. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, there's already been like people have been complaining about it. With the algorithm hasn't changed. The algorithm is pretty much the same.
Hmm.
The only difference as to what's happened is TikTok in the US is now on OCI. That's the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. So literally, when you post, every video that's being posted is being scanned
Hmm.
as far as like US goes.
Yeah.
And people are running into issues to where a video where it's just game clips gets
Yeah.
flagged and it has to be manually reviewed. And
Yeah.
so people that normally have within posting within the first minute have 50, 100, 200, whatever, aren't seeing those they aren't seeing those
Yeah.
views because of those things. So it created a little bit of confusion and I'm like no.
I got
Just breathe. Just breathe.
I I ironically I had some drama not a couple months back, um, and I basically got accused of like bullying another creator. right?
Or are we talking about? I think I know who you're
You
talking
think you know
about.
who you're talking about?
I think um and I kind of was caught in the middle a little bit. I
Oh,
think there
that's
was
right. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, because there was the raid from him, and then like all of a sudden like I think you were
Oh,
gifted a
dude.
sub.
Yeah. But so I will be 100% honest with you. So what happened with that was I responded to his TikTok, and then
Yeah.
my fiance was like, uh, is he streaming right now? So I went to his, I was like, he is. And I went to his stream, and
Hmm.
immediately his girlfriend was like, I'm hungry. And so like all of a sudden they just cut the stream real quick and they rated you. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, Ky1eDriver. And so I just
Yeah.
like subscribed or followed or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh man. I was like, that was so weird. But like, I was kind of caught in the middle,
sorry.
like before that, because oh no, like I was actually talking with him and a couple other TikTokers
And you could,
about
we could say names. I honestly don't
yeah.
care at this
Well, I
point.
mean, like to me, like when it comes to drama, like I'm
I'm about transparency. I've
yeah,
got
like
nothing to hide,
I get
you
it,
know?
and I'm just like one of those like I'm old, even though I'm not really old. I just say I'm old.
Hmm.
Um, I'm just like, usually when it comes to drama or whatever, it's coming from a point of a misunderstanding.
Hmm.
You know, like generally, I like to believe that majority of the content creators aren't nefarious or shady or whatever.
Right.
There's if when it comes to people, we do have an issue with snap reactions and snap judgments, and I think a lot of people they don't take a moment to really analyze or process what's happening. Like people in general, we snap like
Yeah.
we have snap judgments, and I've been guilty of it too.
Let me
Um,
stop you for a second though, because
sure.
this was not a
I know that this was a
yeah,
huge
this I was
thing.
like, this has been going on
This
for
was a
like
huge.
4
I'm speaking
months.
in generalities. Like this thing had I watched
Dude.
his, I watched yours, and I'm like, oh my god. Like, do I
And
need to be a like like do I need to peer mediate here? Like,
well,
oh man.
yeah, that was something that I had thought about it,
Hmm.
um, about maybe doing like we're like we just because my thing was like if we're gonna talk, I want to do it out in the open because I don't want you
Yeah,
saying stuff and then twisting something I said or you recording
sure.
something I say, but I don't record it and then you edit it because you could see that this person took some stuff and tried to misconstrue it
Hmm.
towards the end there, and I just didn't even give it the attention that that person wanted. But
Right.
yeah, no, I there's two things that I don't put up with, and it's messing with my family and messing with my livelihood.
Sure.
And this person tried to mess with my livelihood out of spite, and so I wanted to make it known this person does that,
Right.
you know. So
Yeah, I just like, and he brought it up, and I think it was really cool of him to kind of like give us a heads up that things were going down, which was nice of him. And I'm just like I get it. Like,
yeah,
I told him I was like, I mean, I'll be Switzerland. Like it doesn't affect me. So like
yeah.
whatever happens between you two,
I
like,
had I had a guest that was supposed to be
mm,
on the podcast. I won't say who out of respect for him, but for me, I kind of lost some respect because he was just like, "Hey, I don't know what's going on, but like, I don't want to be in the middle of it. Like, I don't want to anybody think I'm taking sides, this or that, you know." And this was after the last part of it, the last like little bit happened,
mm,
and he canceled like the day before, and so like
damn,
he had reached out again, like, "Hey, like, sorry, I shouldn't have done that. This or you know." Like I had stuff going on too, this and that. Like, can we reschedule? And I was just like, I think that ship sailed, man. Like, I just,
yeah,
to me, it's like, you know, like if okay if you had gotten into some drama like
yeah,
yesterday and I
mm,
like you know I would have still done the podcast
mm,
because I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, you know. I have a lot of
right,
people I've the podcast is such a different setting too because like we you know me and you see each other on TikTok or like we pop into each
yeah,
other's streams, but having a
right,
one-on-one like you know face-to-face conversation is so different
yeah,
because like you know I'm not reading a chat or you
yeah,
know looking at it, you know, looking into a camera and trying to get something, a point across about
mm,
something, you know, like this is just
yeah.
so different. So,
Yeah.
you know?
It's a little bit more of a like
Yeah.
heck, I mean, that's something that could have been discussed.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I'm not afraid to discuss it because it's like if I'm afraid, to me, it's like if you're afraid to talk about something, something
Mhm.
wrong, you
Right.
know? So
Look, I get
I don't
it.
know.
I get it. I mean, if in a perfect world, we want to avoid drama
Of course. But
because drama it can do several things. What
oh,
those
it's a double
are,
edged
it
sword
really
for sure.
depends. So, I mean, and then people, viewers can get really like they especially extremely loyal viewers can get real tribal
Oh yeah.
and and they may not understand the full story and they're getting little bits and pieces and they react and they make things worse.
Yeah. Well, let me also say this though. Like there to me, there's a difference because there's loyal viewers who like demand like an answer or they want to know what's
Yeah.
going on or know the other person's side of the story. And then there's
Yeah.
people who like they take it too far. Like they
Yeah.
almost like they start being the problem. They start
Right.
trolling or because out of
Yeah.
spite or something. And I don't condone people going after anybody out of spite.
Yeah.
Like that to me that is a part of the problem.
Yeah.
So
It's like it
dur-
has nothing to
yeah,
do with you.
during that time, I had people who are like, "Well, I went over there and said something to him, this and that," and I was like, "Dude, don't do that. You make
No,
this
you're
community
right.
look bad by doing that. You know,
Yeah.
like what you do reflects this community." And so, like,
Yeah.
once I kind of like made that known, like, I feel like it kind of people are like, "Okay, like,
Yeah.
he's not trying to
Yeah.
like incite like a war." It was just like a point needed to be made.
Yeah.
Um, but it was a very, very awkward, strange situation, and
Yeah.
could I have went about it different? Probably, but with everything that was going on in my life, I just decided to tackle it head on, and
Yeah.
like I said, I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't respect the way I went about it, but I didn't know what else to do, because like I said, I had been dealing with it for a very long time, and I had
Yeah.
just had enough of the awkwardness. So
Yeah. I feel that. And I know that he's kind of going through a rough time right now too. So
he is. What's going
yeah.
on?
Uh his I think his grandfather passed away.
Oh, like super recently?
Yeah, I
Like,
think it was like maybe last week. It's been really recent.
jeez, man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Because
So I know that
I had known that like his grandfather was going through a rough time, so
yeah.
that's unfortunate, man.
Yeah. Um so I was gonna reach out and just let him know just like, hey man, if you need someone to talk to.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
no,
get
I don't hold grudges,
yeah.
but like I said, once I feel like
Hmm.
it is hard to gain respect back, though. I will say,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, and so like it's just one of those situations, man. You
Yeah.
know, but
So
that sucks, man.
it does. It does. So I know that I think I don't know if it's his girlfriend or what, she made a post. And so I think basically saying taking a step back, focusing on family, which, that's important to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just knew that. Whew.
But yeah, I'm sorry that you're kind of in the crossfire there, because I
It,
had a
it
lot of
it
people reach
literally
out to
didn't
me.
affect me in any way, shape, or form. I was just like,
I
oh, this is weird.
I had people reach out to me and were like, "What's going on?" Like I would like
Yeah.
to know because I don't understand what's going on. And, like, and I was like, "Look, I've got nothing to hide." I explained
Hmm.
like the gist of it, and I was like, if you want to know more, like go talk to him because I think he's got
Sure.
explaining to do. You know. Um, but I just I was like I think I said enough that people
Hmm.
pay a little more attention, and I think that's enough right now. Like unless unless he decides to like straight up attack, like I
Yeah.
definitely have to like defend myself. I talked to Gutsy Aiden about it,
Hmm.
and I mean he had talked about how like he had been basically accused of like stealing mousepad designs or something, and he was like, he felt like he needed to defend himself, and I'm like that there's certain things where like there's a line that if it gets crossed, you have to you can't just get you can't let people walk over you, you know. So
And I get it. Luckily, luckily, I've been pretty fortunate to not really, you know,
Yeah.
I'm daddy TikTok, you know. That's
I'll tell you what,
I'm the
I
old
have
guy.
no desire whatsoever to get mixed up with any drama
Hmm.
at all. I especially after I don't know, I think Nate Shot made a video about it, about like
Yeah.
drama and stuff like that. And it just kind of made me think about like, what really comes from it, you know? And he
Right.
said the same thing. It was basically like, unless somebody is like personally trying to attack you,
Hmm.
it's not worth the you're just giving that person more attention at the end of
Yeah.
the day.
I
So,
mean, early on in my like the Twitch talk, like, I watched drama go down between um the person that really kind of gave me the it was a mutual friend um that pointed me to him. It was like, hey, you should go check out this person, talk to him, get to him, because they knew that I was
yeah.
like making a good effort, at making streaming work. And so I was talking to this person, and at the same time, um, someone else started making all of these accusations towards them, and like it's weird seeing like all the clout that can come, or the attention that can come from drama. And like the person that was on the attack of my now friend, um like the next like couple days they were raking in viewers. Like they were like record streams for
Yeah.
them, and now nothing. Like they're nothing. Like they're not near to what they were pulling in. So drama in itself, like sure, it can pull attention, but it can go
Yeah.
away just as
Well, I
quick.
mean, I think like your intentions are
Yeah.
definitely the most
Hmm.
important thing. Like, and
Yeah.
I feel like I made it pretty known that like I was not doing it for
Yeah.
cloud or views or anything like that. I wanted my community and this other
Yeah.
person's community to know like something wasn't right, you know.
Yeah. And that's an important thing to do. Like you can tell, and the longer I do this, it's easier to find out who's doing what for why.
Yeah.
Like you can find out who's doing it for the attention, who's doing it for the, doing it for the talk, doing it for the content, to boost in whatever way. I mean, that's kind of, we'll bring up pity talks. People do that because they want people to feel bad, and they want people to
Yeah.
show up. It's like, well, I guess I'll do it. Like it's the longer I do this, the easier it is to see who's doing it for the wrong reasons and who's doing it for the right. And I didn't get anything, nefarious from yours. Like it was just, I'm
I
not
was
gonna
pissed
lie.
off. I was pissed
Yeah,
off.
I'm not gonna lie. It made good TV. Like that's, I mean, it was, but I mean, I think that's like the cynical part of just how people are. It's sometimes hard to look away from drama. Not that I enjoyed it in any way, shape, or form. I don't like seeing, waves being made within, the
Well,
streaming community,
yeah.
because we're supposed to be a positive and upbringing community. And when, things like that start happening, it's like, oh no, it's like, please no. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so
the biggest thing for me is like, you know, friends like you. It's like,
yeah,
there's people who are they're gonna take a side, or they're gonna decide to
yeah,
just walk away from both, and that the both of those are scary to think about. Like
yeah.
I'm sure there's people, 100% there's people who look at me differently because of that, and any
Hmm.
past drama, and like I said, to me, it's like I shouldn't worry though, because it's like the people who know me and
Yeah,
like what I'm about and stuff like that. Like those are the people that I care about more.
yeah.
Those are the real friends. So
I think I've gone through enough, in as far as my standpoint. Like I've gone through enough, I've seen enough drama to where I'm able to objectively look at a situation, and like what was happening between you two didn't affect me.
yeah,
Like it doesn't affect me at the end of the day. if things were actual, like if some actual like information that came out that made you or him like they did a super shitty thing, that may be a different story. But that was a beef between you two, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm still cool with both of you. So like I'm able to look at that, I'm able to look at a situation and be objective about it. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like choosing sides for me doesn't help,
Yeah.
because like I like people, I like interacting with people.
Mm-hmm.
So unless it was like something bad, like you're out here kicking puppies and shit, like I'm like maybe I don't want to hang out with Danny. He likes to kick puppies, type of thing. So like,
Yeah.
and it wasn't that situation. It's like it doesn't affect me. I'm not gonna get up in arms. I'm not gonna choose a side. That's between you two. So,
That's
and
good, man.
yeah,
Because like I think like it's just a drama, man. It's just a nasty thing.
yeah.
It's it's not
We've all
fun.
been there. We've all
Not fun
been
at
there,
all.
and it's not fun, especially when it's out there on the internet, so public facing, and it's not just like a beef between two friends, because you stole my Grave Titan magic card or whatever, like real story, by the way. That came from a real
I
story between
figured
two
because like
friends.
the way
Like that's so
it's
random and
very
specific.
specific.
Real story. But it's completely different and it's magnified, and that makes things a little bit worse. It's not like
Yeah.
it's when it's so public facing and made public, like that's a completely different monster, and it sucks. It sucks when you have to go through it. Bottom line.
Yeah. But I mean,
But you're good now. It's will that relationship ever be redeemed? Who knows? I mean, that's between you guys. But I mean, the drama's not happening anymore. There's no more posts about it, so it's just like
I won't.
you
I
know,
won't. I won't give it any more attention anymore.
yeah.
I,
There's
I,
no
I
point. There's
there's
no
not.
point, especially in where you are currently in your career. There's no point. It's not gonna do anything. It's not like
I mean, like when the last thing had kind of happened with it, like I had just sided with Elevate. Like there's all this stuff going
yeah,
on. I was just like, my attention is, I need to be focused elsewhere. Like it's just not
absolutely,
worth the attention right now.
absolutely.
So,
I agree. I
and like
agree.
not only that, like I thought it was done with. So like when
Yeah,
something else came up, I was kind of surprised, but
yeah.
it is what it is.
It is, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah,
So,
but
so
thank
what's
you for talking about that though, because like I
absolutely
think
let's see.
I
Shoot.
always wonder, especially like certain creators that I figure kind of knew what was going on or anything like
Yeah,
that. It's like I don't know how they feel
yeah.
about it. So
It's just it's not, it, like I said, it doesn't affect me at the end of the day. It's not my place to um
yeah,
choose a side or whatever. Like if I'm able to help with like like establishing a communication and a common ground, I'm more than
if
happy
I
to do that.
ever if I ever do get that, no, I'm just kidding. Like I
Yeah.
will have you as a moderator. No,
Listen, I'm just saying, like it's
no,
it's
man.
something that like in any instances of that, if it like if I'm able to assist with establishing communication
Yeah,
and finding a common ground, like I'm more than happy to do that. But
yeah,
one thing
and
that I'm
likewise,
like,
man. Like
yeah.
if you, yeah, exactly. I get what you're saying. Yeah,
So, but just drama's drama and save it for your mama or whatever the saying is,
yeah. I mean, I would say at this point, I feel like if anything, like all of a sudden I get attacked or something like that, but some out of the blue, like, I feel like I would do my best to handle it privately.
Yeah,
You know.
that's especially where you are now. It's probably the best. You know,
Yeah.
you got partnerships, you have contracts and all that stuff. So it's just like you're at this stage and you're gonna do whatever you can to protect it and keep doing your thing. So
Yeah. But I mean, we'll see. I do hope that
mhm.
everything's. I know they're probably mourning right now, so
Yeah,
that's that's awful, man.
yeah, yeah. But let's shift. What's
Yeah.
next? what's next for Danny Dorito? Like you've had a lot of
I
changes.
mean,
You've gotten the partnership. You've gotten the
yeah,
Elevate thing.
just got the partnership with G Fuel, so I feel like right now we're on like a big push to
Yeah.
try and get our own G Fuel shaker. You know,
Right.
like that's the big talk right now. Like I got people like
Mhm.
coming up with like mock designs and stuff and sending it to
Oh,
me because
nice.
like they want to see it. So it's like it's cool to see the
That's
community
cool.
get behind that. You know, um, I have joked around about it. You know, like the Dorito sponsorship is definitely like that's like the big goal.
That'd be
You know that
wild.
like that would be wild. So, but I mean, right now I would say the biggest thing is just waiting for the next game, man.
Yeah,
There's
it's
nothing, dude. I tried Valheim and I don't think it's the type of game for me. So, I
yeah,
mean,
like
I got the 24-hour like celebration stream for hitting a
mhm,
million, and it's also my
yeah.
birthday on Saturday, so
Oh, look at that.
that's gonna be fun.
That'll be an
Um,
epic stream.
I do feel like I've started to focus a lot more on the YouTube content, you know. So like,
Yeah,
I plan on doing where because I want to get Buffalo Wild Wings for my birthday. I want to get like we're gonna watch like the UFC fights and stuff, you know, because
nice.
Megan Anderson's fighting. Um,
Yeah,
and I want to do like a tier ranking of all the Buffalo Wild Wings sauces for like YouTube, you know, with the stream. So that'll be fun, especially once I get to like blazing, you know.
yeah. Like, whew, yeah.
Yeah,
That'll be a good one. That'll be fun. Nice
yeah.
24-hour stream, birthday
24 hour.
stream.
Have you done a 24-hour stream? I assume you
I
have.
I don't think I will. If this becomes my thing, sure.
Yeah.
But you know,
People
being
get people get hyped up for those streams, man.
they do like maybe I'll do like a subathon. Maybe I'll do a like an 8-hour stream or something to celebrate.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna do that for like my stream anniversary coming up here in April. April 1st is gonna be that was my very first stream ever. Um, so I was thinking about playing the first game I ever streamed, and that
Yeah.
was Enter the Gungeon.
Okay.
So I think the people would really like that. Um,
Yeah.
and do
The
maybe something a little bit longer.
Dude, the last 24-hour stream I did, I mean both of them that I've done, it's draining, dude. Like I
It I,
underestimated like how tiring it is to like just interact with people for 24 hours straight.
yeah, because you have to be on for 24 hours. Like
And
I get exhausted after a 3-hour stream, like on a marble stream, like bringing like constantly pumping out that level of energy
yeah.
for any extended period of time is just taxing. And right there I think is completely overlooked by people that say like streaming's so easy. You just have to play a video
Yeah.
game. Like, are you kidding me? No, you're an entertainer. The
I,
gaming's completely secondary.
I know a content creator buddy who did 48 hours and I'm like, dude, you're an animal. I
That's
cannot.
insane.
Like
That's
I don't know how,
crazy.
dude. Cuz
Whew.
like I did the last 24-hour stream I did, I think I drank like close to 1,000 milligrams of caffeine throughout the thing just trying to stay
And that's
hyped.
dangerous.
Hmm.
That's so dangerous.
I mean,
I think it's like, whew,
so I
400
would
milligrams is like the FDA recommended amount.
I think it depends on your like weight. I think for me it's like 350 is like the safe like daily amount that you can have on a
Yeah.
consistent basis. Um but like I mean after having that much caffeine you definitely feel like you feel it. Like you just crash, dude. Like
Oh
it's
yeah,
once
like
the stream's
it's
over, I'm just like good night. Sleep for
yeah,
12 hours.
game over.
Yeah.
Game over. It's wild.
But
But eventually I'll do something cool. Um,
definitely want to do a charity stream soon. It's been a while
Charity
since I've
streams
done
are
one.
great. Like that's like we've had a lot of success as a community with charity streams. Last year we raised I think over $2,200 for split between two charity events because I did my first charity event in October for breast cancer awareness,
Okay.
and then I did the Game to Give charity event for uh, the Children's Miracle Network Hospital Network, and the Bungie Foundation. And so with those two combined, we raised over 2,200. This past stream for Mott Children's Hospital, we raised over $3,000,
That's insane, dude. That's
and that
awesome.
was for the month of February. So that was super cool. So we've already beat our goal from last year. Um, I got to plan out my next one. I try to do one like maybe every quarter. I don't want to like, and that's the thing. Like when people realize that you do the charity stuff, they ask you about like, hey, you should do a cause for this, or hey, I have a charity event. Can I promote it? It's like you want to help, but like I have to take into account my community. Like they're taking money that they may not have from, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. Money is scarce, for a lot of people, and the people that are giving are, they may be giving more than they need to or what.
Yeah.
I don't want to, drain those dry. You don't want to be excessive with charities. So
Yeah. No, I think I think maybe this next month I'll do something. I really do
yeah,
like doing the mental health awareness stuff.
yeah. Are you gonna stick with like maybe something, um, like military, like something for the VA or
Um I think maybe I'll try and do something like that for like Veterans Day.
yeah,
Um but I think like I'm more like I just focus on like just everybody,
mhm,
in general. Like I
yeah.
think mental health just needs to be talked about more,
Oh yeah,
People keep
absolutely.
stuff bottled up,
Yeah,
to the point where there's a breaking point, and I think it's sad that people feel like they have to do that.
yeah.
I've been there.
Um, if you need anything from me, like any information, if you have questions or whatnot on charity streams, dude, you know where to find me.
Yeah, I've done some small ones, but I haven't done one. They take so much time to plan and stuff. It's like I
They
haven't
do.
done one. I haven't done one since we moved and stuff. So
Yeah.
it'll be the first like real big one. So
Yeah, I have to with us hitting our goal, I have to do a glitter beard stream, so I got to get the glitter beard stuff and I got to put that all in my beard. So
yeah,
my
I got to
desk
think of
is
a good
probably going to be
goal.
covered with glitter forever, until the house burns down,
They
because
they really
glitter
want
just
me to
stays.
dye my hair,
They do.
but
I have to dye my hair.
I don't want to. I
That was the goal if we hit 2000 is
maybe I'll
me dyeing
I
my
don't
hair.
know. Because one person that I saw like just absolutely kill it was McConster. Have you seen him?
Yeah.
Dude, he did a charity stream and like I was popping in and just like, dude, like they hit the next one, the next one, like all these goals they were
Yeah.
doing. Um, and I was just like, that's awesome. Like
Yeah.
I need to
I
step
like
up my game
McConster.
with
He's a
these
good
charity
dude.
streams. I need to
Super underrated.
incentivize some of these goals. Um, yeah, I mean, I I try to think into the future a little bit, but not too much.
Hmm.
'Cause, like you got to spend some time. I try to focus on the present because I
Yeah.
think it's easy to overlook stuff if you don't.
Yeah. I agree.
So yeah, this next month I'm curious to see how it goes. February was
Absolutely.
crazy. I
Yeah.
honestly thought February was going to be a slower month because of like
Yeah.
everything going on. I've heard a lot of people say, "Hey, I'm going back to school finally." So it's like,
Yeah.
whoa, you know. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you have any? Because I feel like we talked a lot about like we talked about drama and stuff like that too.
Hmm.
Which I hope I didn't hurt nobody's feelings, but
Nah, you should be fine.
um, what kind of hobbies, man? What do you do outside of like this stuff? Like when you're just spending time with the fam, like what are you doing?
So like family and all that stuff is generally, like that's why, I work on content and spend time with the family on my off days. Um, but before COVID, like I was an avid weightlifter. Like I was
Oh, me too,
225
man.
225 pounds, just juicy. Um, and I lost with gyms closing down and me doing like makeshift workouts in the basement. I dropped 20 pounds. So
Damn.
yeah, I lost a lot of weight. Because I wasn't working out as hard. My caloric requirements weren't needed, so my appetite went down. I lost weight. But now, like the gyms are open back up. I'm getting back in there. So I'm not going at the capacity that I was.
I'm
Um,
scared. I'm scared to go back to the gym. Because like I went to the gym once during the pandemic when it opened up in,
mhm.
in Cali and I got strep throat. Like
It's
viral strep
it's
throat.
it's it's scary because you have to be careful because there's people that just they don't follow the rules.
Yeah. But like it scared the shit out of me. I thought I got COVID.
Yeah. Oh, and fortunately, you haven't had it. You haven't had COVID yet.
No, I've
I've
been
been I've
tested
been
twice.
I've been tested too. Luckily I haven't had. If I've
That test
had it, it's been
sucks,
completely
dude.
ace. It's been completely asymptomatic if I've had it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm finally back at the gym. Other than that, comics. I read comics. Um, that's basically what I do. So nothing too crazy. I
Yeah.
mean, my gaming hobby has now become
Yeah,
this.
that's the one thing I feel like people don't talk about is that like when I game outside of streaming now, it's so weird.
Mm, yeah,
It's not the same.
it is. It's not, and it's more of, and it's okay to do it, and it's important to do it for your own
Yeah.
sanity. Um, Especially if you're married to one type of game. You know, the people that are, playing just Call of Duty or just Fortnite or just Apex or whatever. Like it's important to
Yeah.
have that breakup. Otherwise, you're gonna get burnt out. And
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people plan for that. And then they just hit that wall and they don't know what to do.
Yeah. There's some games that I missed out on because of like
Mhm,
everything going on in life and then doing this. Like I never played Red Dead 2. I never played Jedi Fallen Order. I didn't get to
mhm.
play Last of Us 2 or the Spider-Man games. So I think that's like what, because I do like to think, like, it doesn't matter what I stream, like, somebody will
Yeah,
watch it, but at the same time, it's
yeah,
like, I like to get hyped up about stuff. And so, like,
yeah,
if I feel like, the hype isn't there, like, it's just like, I'll just play it on my own. So
yeah.
I think Red Dead 2 is something I want to tackle, you
Like
know.
I mean, shoot, you could like, and it was brought up, um, like if you want to play games outside of streaming, you can 100% do that. Like you could even record it through your OBS, and then just, hey, that's a VOD right there on YouTube. Like, here's me playing whatever,
Yeah.
and then just it's anything can be turned into content nowadays. So
Um, have you ever stumbled upon a creator, like, on YouTube and, like, you thought they streamed, but they don't?
never that I
Like,
paid attention to. Like a
General
lot of my
Sam. You heard of General Sam?
okay,
Like I
uh,
thought I thought he streams, but apparently he doesn't anymore. Like he used
okay,
to. But like you go watch his YouTube videos and like the way that like he films his stuff, you would think that he's doing it live.
okay.
It's very interesting.
Um, I can't think of his name. Lucid. Um,
I think I know who that
on
is.
on TikTok, he does a lot of the loadout videos.
Yeah.
He doesn't stream.
You know, I don't know if I had an idea and I'm not sure about it. But I feel like
You
everybody
want do you want
does.
to talk do you want to talk off podcast about
Yeah,
it?
maybe off podcast. I want your two
Okay.
cents.
Okay.
Has to do with loadouts
Okay. I mean,
and those
I'm not
that
the
type of
person to talk to
content.
about loadouts. I
Well, I
mean,
just mean
like,
like, what would you
yeah,
think if you saw this
yeah.
this
I mean,
this style?
I
But
have a lot of my content shifts going to Apex because I don't see this type of content. No one's really so before Call of Duty Warzone, I was Destiny like heavy. Before streaming, before anything, I was playing a lot of Destiny.
yeah,
And the one thing that I loved about Destiny was the fact that like you could do a lot of weapon breakdowns, like with like these perks, do these things, and I missed that a lot. Um, with Apex and it being the looter, it's very similar looter shooter to Destiny's in the form of a BR. And so, and I don't see people doing it is like really breaking down the numbers of what these weapons do. And like people say, this gun is trash. Why is it trash?
I have
No one tells me why.
yeah, I have no
Like,
idea. I'll
like
watch that.
so yeah, and so I have like I literally spent 3 hours in the firing range, picking up each gun and testing out what does what and how it does it, and oh, it's gonna be, whoo,
You're gonna be the Stony Stark of Apex.
maybe, maybe that's yeah, that would be weird to be said in the same breath as that guy.
Dude,
He's
that was weird having him on because like
yeah,
he was one of the guys that like when I first got on TikTok, like
mhm,
that's all I saw was like him doing his loadouts and
yeah,
like I was using the loadouts he was making. I mean, he talked
yeah,
about how Tim the Tap Man used like his broken FAL
uh,
build at like uh or not. Sorry. So like, what I guess what happened was he made that troll build, right? Saying that like, oh, the
Yeah.
FAL, but it was like, you know, everything that he was doing was when there was no armor left on him and stuff. Like he would slide it and just kill him real quick,
Yeah.
and people were using this build thinking like this thing's shredded, but it doesn't. Like, and so like Tim the Tat Man on stream, like he didn't say Stoney's name, but he was like, I'm gonna try out this build, for the YouTube, this is a TikTok build, and like couldn't get a kill with it. So like
That's funny. That's funny.
yeah, so like it's just, I don't know, it's interesting because uh seeing like how the games change, and then how like content creators change their content based off of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like I know Ghost Z, right? I think that's his name. I had talked to him in like a Twitch chat. I don't remember whose stream it was, but he was talking about. Or no. I was talking to somebody. I think it might have been Ben Jammins. I was talking to Ben Jammins, in Twitch chat, and he was playing with Ghost Z, and so like the three of us were kind of like talking about it, and he was saying like, yeah, like that first zombies map was huge, and so like for him it was like that was great content, and then like there just wasn't the same hype around the second map, so it was like, what does he do now,
Yeah.
and then like people kept saying like, when are you gonna play with FaZe Blaze again? And he's like, I only played with FaZe Blaze the one time, like that one map, and like he doesn't really seem like hyped about the other one, and it's like, and he even said it himself. He was like that it was just a classic case of like putting all your eggs in one basket. Like he's like, yeah. So that's always been my worry, is like just investing in one type of content, and then.
And I think you do a good job of mixing it up.
I try
because you play the Rainbow Six, you play Warzone. I see you playing Fortnite every now and again.
And like anytime a new game comes up, that's when I do subathons. I'm like, all right, like the last one I did was Cyberpunk. I think the next one I'll do is probably gonna be I don't even know. There's some games coming out, hopefully. I'm really excited.
Outriders. Is that it's out in beta right now. There's a lot of people playing it yesterday. It's basically like, it's a looter shooter. It's an RPG shooter, kind of like Destiny. It's fire team of 3.
Okay.
So it looked interesting. It's very very sci-fi. To me, it gave a very like the old timey like the retro. It had a very retro feel to it. Just like the retro aspect of how space was, in like the 50s and 60s. That's kind of the feel that I got from it. So it's definitely interesting. It's definitely unique.
I'm really excited about Back for Blood. You know what that is?
I don't know.
So I guess it's like some of the same people who made Left 4 Dead. Did you play those games? Yeah, it's
a
like
little bit. I'm
like
a bitch when it comes to that.
So
okay.
I feel like
those games scare the crap out of me. I'm such a sissy when it comes to like spooky games and
I'm
zombie
for the next
like
Resident Evil. I can't wait for that.
Like I'll play Phasmophobia. Have you played Phasmophobia?
Oh yeah, Phasmophobia, dude. That's fun.
It's so fun, but I don't need, like, watching it. I'm fine.
There was another one that it didn't catch on. I thought maybe it would. I was watching it for a little bit. It's this one where like it's very very similar to Phasmophobia. I don't know if I can't even think of the name now.
I think I know what you're talking about. Where you got to go through and smash mirrors and shit.
Yeah, you had to burn goats and stuff.
I have a friend of mine. She's been playing it, and like that game, watching it gives me anxiety. Like I can't, like, watching, like, I'm like, oh god, like what's gonna happen? Like the music gets you. Phasmophobia, like watching it doesn't bother me, but playing it is a completely different story. And especially when you have troll friends that do the in your ear, and you're like, I'm like,
bro, I was playing sound effects and stuff, like demon, like just like feel like like it's like running away.
My goodness,
grabbing a corner. All scared.
I think a lot of games, like there needs to be a new one. As far as like the streaming content, it's a little stale.
Yeah,
if I'm gonna be honest, especially with, like, in my opinion, I think the season 2 of Warzone is absolute trash.
Oh man. So like I mean I've seen the theories. I talked about this in like the gaming news video that I posted today, but
Hmm.
there's theories that like this season like they're trying to pace themselves. Like they are
Yeah.
aware that it gets stale really quick. So like
Yeah.
what they're trying to do is we got the outbreak event going on, but like
Yeah.
while that's going on, zombies are slowly going to infect Verdansk, and then towards the end of the season, they're going to be talking about we got to nuke it, we got to, the infestation is
Mm.
getting out of control, and
Yeah.
then boom, we got the new map.
Yeah.
So if they do it correctly, I could see the hype building, but
And it kind of get a little bit of a redemption.
if if that map is trash that we get, if nobody likes it, Warzone's gonna die,
Bad.
man.
Yeah.
It's gonna die.
And like, which sucks because they've already said what a couple weeks ago that Warzone's going to be at the forefront for a long time.
They're planning on integrating the next Call of Duty into it, which is supposed to be World War II. So how the hell is this gonna happen,
What?
dude? Yeah,
That makes no
Sledgehammer is
sense to
making
me.
another World War II game. So
I
how the
mean,
hell are they
that's
gonna
cool
integrate
because I
that?
loved World at War.
But you
I
can't
loved
mix
World
like
at
World War
War.
II style guns, into
You
like
can't.
M4s and stuff. Somebody really gonna pick up an M1 Grand and like run around?
I would just for the
A
troll.
Thompson.
I mean, literally. I mean, if you're looking at that, I mean, that's content specifically for
Yeah, but I mean,
Benjamins to sit there and meme throughout
dude,
whatever.
Benjamin's man. That guy, he's on another level, man.
He really is.
I keep telling people, I'm like, watch that guy, because that guy, like, he's
Yeah.
probably one of the most underrated people on
Oh,
TikTok right now. He
yeah. No,
his,
I agree.
his streams, like, I'll pop in and he's like, "Oh, what's up, Danny?" And then like, and he's like, "This guy's gonna jump off the building right now." And then like the guy like parachutes down and he just runs him over and just keeps going. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, dude, this guy like calls it out before it happens. Like
It's so weird.
he was parachuting in and he's like, this guy's not gonna make the turn. And sure enough, the guy had a hard time and he hit the corner and Ben like hopped on, and
Just
then
got him.
the guy gets out and like Ben like steals his vehicle or something.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just like, dude, this guy is like freaking James Bond of Verdansk over here, just stealing
And he
people's
doesn't
vehicles.
even play the game. He just memes. Like
He
that's
does
what
it,
he does.
and he makes it look effortless, bro.
It's hilarious to me. Like he's sitting there running people over with the ATVs, and I'm just like, this guy. It's so entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
Like and
We've
that's
been
and that's
jammed.
like, oh my gosh, dude, playing Among Us with him was hilarious. We had like Bad Bear had like the Among Us night
Uh-huh.
with creators, and oh my gosh, oh, dude, playing with him was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's funny,
But
dude.
he's very very funny. But like like as something as stale as Warzone's gotten, he's able to take that and just completely
Yeah.
put another spin on it, and a 100% like life out of lemons, type situation. So kudos to him. I'm excited to see what he does. His YouTube's blowing up, and he's really starting to take advantage of that too. So I'm excited to see what happens for him.
Yeah, it's awesome to see him
Yeah.
grow, because like ever since I met him, I was like, dude, like I'm probably going to, not this week, but this upcoming week, but the next week, I'm probably gonna have him and Stony Stark on at the same time
That'd be
on the
wild.
podcast. Yeah, so I think that's gonna be really fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've definitely like Benjamin's. I'm rooting for that guy. That guy,
Yeah.
he's out here just doing stuff that I don't see from anybody else for
No.
sure.
You,
Um,
and you don't see it.
And I
So.
guarantee you that guy's got more vehicle kills than gun kills in Warzone.
Probably.
100%.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I did a tournament with him, and it was literally just like me on the back of an ATV, and he would like run people over, and I'd finish them and we just keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
he's an interesting one. So
I drove a quad into one of the bunkers and like wiped the team, and I was like, I just pulled a Benjamins, like I feel like that's gonna be a
been
thing,
jammed.
man. Yeah, you've been jammed.
Oh man, he's something else, and it'll be exciting to see where he's at this year too.
Yeah. What about you,
So.
man? Like, what's your goals for 2021?
Me, like I never really thought about partner. I really haven't. But now that I have it unlocked because of the charity stream, like I really wasn't hitting the average viewers that they were looking for. I submitted it because, for the S's and G's, um, knowing well enough that the chances of me getting accepted the first time, especially with having just this one stream, were really low. Um, and they told me that. I mean, they were honest. They're like, listen, you're not there with the consistency. You're very sporadic with your viewership, and it's like that's fine. I'm aware of that. I'm still trying to find my thing that's going to, set me apart from everyone else. So I mean, partner is not it's at this point, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, because I have it there now forever.
Yeah.
But me, it's just continuing to grow this community that I have. I really focus on just having a positive community, because I mean, we've all been there. Gaming can be toxic. And it really turns people off, and they feel like just because you play Call of Duty or because you play these games, you have to be toxic or whatever. And I'm just trying to break that mold.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's been, I found a lot of pretty cool people, and a lot of really supportive people that are there. So I actually have a video that I'll be posting early next week. Kind of like things got real in our in our Marble stream yesterday on Thursday. So just kind of giving a little bit of gives a little insight of who I am. But my goal is to really start putting out content and trying to, because with my skits, it doesn't really show that I stream.
Okay.
So I'm going to start working on some content to start like letting people know that I do stream. Like, hey, if you're liking these vibes or whatever, like I do stream and whatnot. I haven't really done a good job at that. Really, my pull for people has been doing TikTok lives during my lunch hour when I'm working.
Yeah.
On my lunch hour, I'll go live for an hour and I sit there and chit chat with people, and they ask me questions, and I'm like, yeah, if you're liking these vibes, or they'll say like, hey, I'm having a really good time. I like your attitude. I like your vibe. And I'm like, well, if you like that, you'll like my stream. And then I'll try to pull people over. It's hard. Like you said, it's hard to convert people, because that's an investment, because you can instigate a follow on any platform that you're on, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Like that's already they're already there. They're already invested in that platform.
Yeah.
But trying to pull that person from that platform to another, that's another investment.
And they could
and that's
tell.
difficult.
They could tell when you're trying too hard to just to get people to go over to something else, like like those types of videos just don't do well. Like I had somebody ask like, you should make a YouTube. And so like my fiance comes in, she's like, they said you should make a YouTube. I'm like, I already have one, like I do all this stuff.
Yeah.
And like I see a huge boost in like the like YouTube for like a day. But like that video to me is like it's not content, it's kind of just,
it's not, and it wouldn't be like the main focus. It's like more of like the last bit, like throw it in at the end, type thing. I saw Cardog do it, and I thought it was a pretty good idea. But I don't know, like that's the thing. I got to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
And then once I'm there, like, I think we do a pretty good job. Like we're continuing to go up and all that stuff. But like even with, people say, oh, I saw you on recommended. So at least we're on recommended. A lot of people don't, we know that, especially when you're starting off, Twitch doesn't do you any favors.
Yeah.
It's not the type of platform it is. It's not Mixer, where it's geared towards the smaller streamer, and it gives you that exposure. It's just not that platform. So when you hit, go ahead.
Do you think that if Twitch started to like pay a lot more attention to like discoverability and the small streamers, if like maybe, I don't know, I feel like it would almost hurt them at this point.
Right. And so here's the thing, like, because, and I tell people this, like I get asked the question a lot. I'm not sure if you get asked the question a lot. What they want to know, how do I, like, what am I doing here? And then I use this as an example every time. I go, well, what game are you playing? Call of Duty. Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to go to Call of Duty category on Twitch. and I want you to filter from lowest viewers to highest viewers. You're going to be going through hundreds of streams of just people, whether it's just the gameplay with no camera, or you have other people that have camera. I go,
Yeah.
right now, if you're starting off fresh, all these people you're competing for, I go, that should set the picture for you. That should set the pace of, you know, you have to set yourself apart from these people. And how are you going to do that? Because you're not going to hit recommend until you average 10 viewers. You don't hit recommend until you average 10. So social media is your best friend at this point.
Yeah, the barrier to entry is low, but because of that, it's hard to stand out. And so like
Agreed.
people ask me, you know, what do I do? You know, because I you know, I'm doing what you said. I'm making content, this and that. And I'm like, well, what is your content focusing on? Because anybody can post gameplay clips. Anybody can like hit a sick sniper shot, you know, once in a blue moon, and then post it and make something out of it. But not anybody can take your personality and showcase who you are. Like you are the only you, so you need to showcase you, whatever way it is that you do that. You know, like I mean, like I got the family stuff going on in my life, so that's what I showcase. I showcase the family aspect of it. You know,
and
whether it's going, whether it's going to get Little Man a cheeseburger or it's mixing G Fuel, you know, that's what's going on. And so like, you know,
and the game clip thing, it's like, well, I'm posting all my, like literally game clips are a dime a dozen. The days of posting game clips and getting views, like that's YouTube shit.
Yeah.
That's for YouTube. That's long form content. That's on YouTube. If you're going to post game clips, you need to do something different. You need to set the story. Because just raw dog, you know, game clip, no setup, just you doing this thing real quick, like that's not going to do it. It's not going to cut it anymore. Especially when you have people like Tim the Tatman, Nick Merckx, all of these, you know, bigger content creators that have these, as Bad Bear put it, they have these 10-person teams that process their content, putting it out. You now have to compete with them. And that's hard to do because chances are it's just you going against all these people that have the ability to produce high-end, high-quality content.
Yeah.
Like
I
you
mean,
have to.
like you see Jordy 2D, right?
Yeah.
And like, yes, I found out that he like went to school for like graphic design a little bit and stuff, so like he knows how to edit, and I think that's definitely a big plus for him. But like his style of humor and the way he took like the Sonic costume and joked around with that, like I mean, there's people who have tried since then to try and do that, but everybody knows that like that's Jordy's sense of humor. Like you go into a stream and he's the same way, you know, like he's joking around. You know, and he'll even be like, you know, that was a good hot mic. That's a TikTok, or you know, like that's the type of stuff, you know. So, yeah, I think 100%. It's just being you. Don't try to like be something else. Be yourself.
And this is like the biggest thing, especially if you're new and you're just starting out. People get really impatient. You have to be patient because it's going to take time to find those people that mesh with your vibe, with who you are as a person, that like those types of personalities. It's going to take time to find those people, but the more content that you put out that focuses on that, the easier it's going to be.
Yeah.
So
and then, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people who just want this to like happen overnight.
Yes.
You know, and I don't think they realize that the problem with like finding success overnight is that you also can lose that overnight as well. It goes up just as fast as it goes down.
Yeah.
You know.
And if you like, and I think it's almost worse if you get that real quick, you know, that real 15 minutes of fame, and you don't keep up with it and you don't adjust on the fly and have to be at that level, like you said, it's done.
Yeah. So it's slow and steady. Slow and steady.
Yeah.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
It'll happen. Like me. And like a lot of people are like, well, this person's doing this. They've only been doing it this amount of time and they're doing this. It's like, well, look at their content. Like if they're putting out high level content and great content, like that's the reason why.
And consistency.
Like, yeah.
Consistency is so important.
There's so many aspects that people overlook and they get frustrated with, and it's just like it's a process. It's work. It's hard. If it wasn't, everyone would be doing it.
Yeah. I mean, you
And
go
it's
look
so
at my
cliche to say.
yeah, you go look at my TikToks from when I first started, and they're terrible, man.
Oh my God,
So
like
terrible.
I have a couple game clips, like it's like maybe 6 game clips for when I first started, and I leave them there as a reminder
Yeah.
of where I've come with my content, you know. Um, and it's just enjoy the process. Are you gonna win every time? No.
I know for a fact I'm not after yesterday, bro. That tournament
Yeah,
I did.
hey, you're not gonna win every time. Like you're not gonna take these
Yeah.
W's, and I'm like I'll use the apply for partner thing. Like we've had pretty good growth on the channel. I within this period of time of me, I haven't been putting out 5 videos a day. I would do one to three, you know, and from doing that, being able to grow to 57,000 followers on TikTok, and I think that's a pretty good feat. And
Yeah.
we've been doing the steady growth. I've gone from you know 7 viewers to to averaging 50 viewers a stream within 7-8 months. Those are W's. And
Yeah.
getting and losing on the partner thing, like that's being able to apply for partners a W. It's all about your perspective. And like, yes, we were denied. Is that an L? Sure. But we don't change anything. Like you have to have this
Yeah.
mindset.
What do you do with that L? I see people
Yeah,
who I mean, it's like, somebody just like it's like you see some people get denied partner and it's like their dog
that's
just
it.
got put
They're
down.
done.
It's just yeah, they get stopped in their tracks.
No.
Um and like when it happened to me, I was like, "Hey, we got denied partner, but we weren't that wasn't the focus. We're just going to keep doing what we're
No.
doing, you know? We'll
Yeah.
apply again. It's not a big deal."
Yeah. And that's in the community keeps you honest. And you have to listen to your communities. So
Yeah.
whether it's 3 people that are in your stream every time or 300, it doesn't matter. You have to you need to focus on those people because they're taking time out of their day to come hang out. So
Yeah.
I think people overlook that. People focus on the views too much,
I
and
think
it's
if you
like,
I think Harris Heller talks about it a lot that if you focus on what at the end of the day, what is it you're doing? Like I
mhm,
consider myself an entertainer.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%.
So how do I continue to entertain people? Like, how do I entertain people? How do I entertain those people that have been around for a while that could all of a sudden be like, you know what? Like, I'm bored of this.
Hmm.
Focus on doing whatever it is you do, whether it's, trying to
Yeah,
get trick shots,
yeah,
doing memes, whatever it is, like Benjamin's with all his stuff.
yeah,
Focus on that and focus on improving. Being honest with yourself, and
yeah,
I think that the community, it will take care of itself. It will
yeah,
absolutely grow as long as you focus on doing whatever it is you do. Don't
yeah,
focus on increasing the numbers. Just focus on how do I keep
yeah,
those people that are there entertained still.
yeah. And then that's a completely other thing because there's people that are going to be, the more when you grow, there are going to be people that are going to be like, hey, he doesn't respond as much, with a hype chat, having, you know, 50, 60, 100, 200, whatever, there's going to be people that are like they want that very small, very intimate interaction, and there are going to be those people that walk out, and that's okay.
Hmm.
Like you can't stress out over retaining every single person because
Yeah.
it's 100% not viable. It's not. And so it's like it's a double-edged sword. Like focus on the people that are there and you know focus on your content, and the more you grow, there's going to be that balance of people that are there for a specific reason, and you know if they see you're growing, maybe they get mad about that too and they leave. It's the nature of the beast. Like, and
But you
that's
also
another
have to
thing.
know that you're not going to please everybody. It's
You're
impossible.
not. No, that's
Yeah.
that's a big thing. That's a big
Yeah.
thing.
But I mean, like for
So,
me, it's my thing. Like the reason why I always am like playing 1 or 2 games a stream,
mm,
or unless it's a special occasion or something like yesterday. I'm easily bored. So like if I'm just doing the same thing constantly, like I get bored. I
yeah,
feel like the community's getting bored. So
yeah.
like
If you're not
it's
hype, they're not hype.
oh yeah, exactly. So
So
there's so much to it, man.
there is. And that's why it's like
It's
people that
hard.
dog it, people that dog
It's
it, and they
so
say
hard.
it's easy. It's like no, like you're
Yeah.
not thinking, bruh. Like, and then when I explain it, like when I explain it to like um when I explain it to when I explained it to my parents, they're like, well, it seems easy enough. I'm like, no, it's hard. I go, these are all these things, and they're like, oh wow, that's wild. Like
Bro, I
when you actually explain it to people like that, then they realize it's like,
yeah.
oh, I didn't even think of that. It's like, yeah, like when you're dealing with people and like how complex people are, and it's hard. It's hard.
I've seen Jordy 2D just like it's people like Jordy 2D and Standman. Like the way that they handle people like doing that where they're like, "Bro,
Mhm.
this is so ridiculous. Like it's so easy. You make it you act like it's so hard, like you suck, this and that." And like Jordy, he'll be like, "All right, so and so, let's pull you up. Like, all right, you've been following for like 3 minutes and you got 13 followers. If you're if you want to critique me at streaming, like how come you're not streaming, bro? Like if it's so easy,
Yeah,
and it gets real quiet real fast,
yeah,
and like I don't know, maybe I'm too nice, but like
yeah. Same, same.
seriously, dude, like it's just people. I feel like people will take their either failures or their struggle to commit to something or really go after something and try to
Yeah,
project that onto you, you
mhm.
know. And that's something that like if you want to do something in this career field, whether it's content creation or streaming or being a pro player, that's just something that it's just a part of it. There's just going to be
It
people
is.
that they almost want to like demotivate you, you
Yeah,
know.
and you just got to
So,
take that, and you should be like, okay,
yeah.
nah, you don't get it. You're
I
not
mean,
thinking.
anytime I've had something come up, like I get denied for partner or something like that, I instead of like sitting and like fretting about it, I'm like, all right, I see it as a challenge.
Let's
I
get
like
better.
challenges. Let's go. You
Yeah.
know,
So I agree with you, man. I agree.
it's
And
important.
that's like, and I think so. I think people might have misunderstood like what I was doing. Like I was like, hey, dude, don't feel bad for yourself. It's fine. It's like, dude, I'm not feeling bad for myself because I took that partner thing, like me getting denied, and I took it as a learning opportunity for my daughter on how to deal with getting handed an L, and see how she would react. So I wanted her advice, and that's kind of where this advice thing's gonna spanning from. But people like completely misunderstood the message. Like, it's all good, don't feel bad, keep going. Like, no, it's not about me, man. I'm good. I'm good, folks. Don't worry. But there's always that misunderstanding of content. It's so weird.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, dude. Like getting denied partner did not feel good. That
It
sucked,
didn't.
man. It doesn't
It
feel
didn't.
good.
Being told no is always
Yeah,
rough,
it's
but
always
it's
rough, especially when
you
it's something you
you
care about so much.
yeah.
You know, definitely.
It's one thing to take it and mourn the loss, you can let that loss consume you, or you can go, all right, we're done. It's over with. What do we do now? What's the next? How do we move forward from this? How do we
Yeah,
better ourselves? How do we limit that no for the next time?
yeah.
Is it going to be one, two, three, four, five? Who knows? 10 times being denied? Who
It don't
knows?
matter.
It don't
We're
matter. We
gonna
just
keep
keep
doing it.
doing it
Yeah,
because you're doing it. You're not doing it for just that check mark or, you know, whatever. Yes, it's nice. Yes, that's like a
it's an
validation.
accomplishment,
It's a
but
validation of
yeah,
what you're doing. It's an accomplishment. But don't ever forget we're doing this for the
yeah,
people that are there that are supporting us in taking time and dedicating that time and investing that time into our streams. Like don't let that people allow that focus to shift, and they need to keep that focus there.
yeah.
So
Don't forget why you started watching
the why in the
people
first
for
place.
yeah in the first place.
Yeah.
Like why do you want to watch so and so creator? You know,
Yeah.
put yourself in those shoes, and then don't forget
Hmm.
what it's like to have those shoes on.
Yeah, I agree.
But all right, man. Well,
Yeah.
it was great talking to you, man. We talked about a lot of stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's a
Again, I
lot.
just want to say, because I never know what's gonna happen with this footage and stuff like that. My condolences to Psychic Tater with his grandfather. I'm sorry that happened to you, man. I don't know if he's gonna see this or not. I never know anymore who sees what.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm excited to see what else happens with the podcast.
Yeah.
I do plan on doing some like I said, some 2-person episodes.
Sure.
So like if you'd be down to do an episode with somebody sometime.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not sure who yet. It's hard to figure out. Like, I like to try and think like, all right, who's a good like pair? Like, we're just gonna all like bounce off of each other. So
yeah,
we'll talk.
No, we've had a good conversation. I always like these
it's like therapy
these moments
sometimes.
sit down. Yeah, get real. I mean, it's because people only see what's in front of them, and they don't really get the nuts and bolts, the meat and potatoes of what's going on behind the scenes. Like.
And it's good to talk to somebody who really like understands from the same perspective,
Yeah.
And it's interesting because like I feel like someday I'll go back and look at the podcast and kind of see my journey so far and like how my mindset has evolved and stuff, and
and we've all gone through these shifts. Like, it's crazy. Yeah,
that's why I like having guests on again.
Yeah,
too, is because it's interesting to see how things change.
Yeah,
So.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man.
But I appreciate you having me on, man. Really
it was a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, man. Take care.
Yeah, you as well. Have a great one.
Peace.